found it.
Good. We're good.
We should be good. Yep, we're good to go.
Okay. All right. Welcome to Of Knights and Gnats. Just a stream of our Dungeons and Dragons game, typically very private, now for everyone's consumption. So, without further ado, I am going to jump into some recaps, which I typically do every session. I'm going to stretch it back a little bit farther for those of you joining us. So, here we go. Our party came together a fateful evening in a sleepy, snow-filled village too small to be regarded upon maps. It was here that the stars realigned themselves, and the good folk who were touched by their beams became mindless, ravenous cannibals. They assaulted the party, who had to work together and flee to survive. They took refuge in an underground cult compound, of which one of them was a member. Here they were safe from the monstrous villagers, but not from the cult itself. The member that was a part of this cult, the Cult of the Dying Sun, was Seth, played by Scott. And he discovered that his mother had been sacrificed in a rite to keep some celestial being from arriving. He found her corpse and put her to rest, allowing that celestial being to descend upon the cult with the help of his nemesis, Ruth. They discovered the cultists had drank the Kool-Aid when they returned, and the messenger of the heavens had arrived, and they had to flee from him deep into the underground, also known as the Gloaming. Here they fought for their survival, discovered a large urn that contained some glyphs depicting some cryptic secrets to saving the realm from calamities to come. And after some harrowing battles and feats against the nature of the Gloaming Underground, they were finally back to the surface and the city Agrevorn, of which they have not yet managed to gain entrance into. But even here on the surface, civilization itself is not free from the grasp of these fateful disasters. So now we will have a recap of the previous session. This is mostly for my players, but of course also for you. The party found a missing child they were seeking, named Tef, in an abandoned farmhouse to the south of the city, in the foothills. And in the meanwhile, Kevin, played by Ben, was given a mission by his fellow party mates to follow two guardsmen. They weren't very specific in telling Kevin how to proceed, and Kevin took that to heart and followed them miles and miles south of the city, all by his lonesome, until he had to rescue them from an attack of a wyvern, a giant winged beast with the head of a serpent. And Kevin, for a while, just interacted with them as a squirrel until danger was finally upon them, and he did indeed assist them in killing the creature and learning some very important secrets about his destiny that he may or may not have done a great job relaying to the party. Meanwhile, however, the remainder of the party at that farmhouse did discover the child that had been captured. They saved him from an ogre mage that was attempting to do something with the boy, probably eat him. That's an ogre-y thing to do. And they did manage to save the child, kill the ogre, burn the corpse, take a little rest, and return to Agrevorn, meeting back up with their wayward companion, Kevin. The party then returned to their tent in a place known as Canvas Town. This is a small refugee camp outside of Agrevorn where there is a large number of people from the Gloamlight, the city of Wrenn, played by Bryce. His home city was ravaged by some sort of plague, and they managed to accidentally bring it back to the surface with them. And it has afflicted the villagers here. We will see what becomes of that shortly. So they were back in Canvas Town, and while they sort of argued amongst themselves and tried to figure out what to do next, Tef managed to slip away from the party to try and return himself to his mother. And Bimbly, played by Ash, was able to see the boy run off into the distance, and he followed. However, didn't exactly give the child up, instead went with him out to a dumping ground where they were placing the dead bodies of those that had succumbed to this illness. And the boy was found to be praying for them, and also immune to the disease himself. very peculiar. However, finally the party was able to return to the boy and return the boy back to the tents where the healers were at, attempting to solve the riddle of this affliction. And they discovered that there were some runes on his hands, and these runes appeared to be runes of protection and cleansing that were able to safeguard people from the disease. And they beckoned him to use those runes, or to create runes of his own, on the hands of Brock, a rock gnome and old friend of Wrenn's. And he did so. And as he did that, a tremor ran through the earth. And the boy exclaimed, "It's coming." So, at the beginning of each session, I tie in a narrative. This is a portion of backstory for my players, and it ties into a cohesive storyline that will tie into the game for my players, and you will be able to hear that shortly here.
Is it the Discord stream game?
Yeah, the stream.
Okay. Join stream.
Drea and Castor.
Whoops, a doodle. All right, everyone in?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a thumbs up or down if there's a problem.
Drea and Castor had been traveling for days, stopping only to sleep, eat, and spar. The two tiefling siblings were quiet as they marched along the mountain range north of Agrevorn. When the weather allowed and the snow squalls passed, they could see for miles. Miles of nothing but serene landscape, unscathed by mortals. "What do you think they meant?" Castor asked, breaking the serene silence of their afternoon march. Drea allowed the crunch of snow under her pitted metal boots be her reply. They had been traveling together for months, with only each other as company. It felt fitting. "I mean," he continued, undeterred by her silence, "don't return home until you've learned your truth. That's just vague enough. I think Father wanted us to go out here and freeze to death." The words were swept away from the two wandering blade masters with a blast of frigid air, and they braced against the chill together for a moment. It faded, and Drea continued forward along a narrow slab of ice that acted as a bridge between the peaks they were traversing. She stepped to the other side deftly when she heard a thunderous cracking from underneath the snow. She spun instinctively, hand going to her blade out of practiced habit, as though it would be a useful tool here. Castor was nowhere to be seen, nor was the icy bridge she had just crossed. Panic lanced through her stomach as she looked downward, holding her breath. Her brother looked up at her from below. Ice-covered gauntlets sunk into the snowy precipice like talons of an armored bird. "Sister," he begged, "please." Drea moved to grab his hand, but stopped. He knew nothing of his future. She could let him fall and spare him an eternity of hurt. Spare him the unending nights in which he would be used to spill blood and sheathed until more pain was to be doled out. "If you love me, save me," Castor pled. Drea knelt and lay a hand on his, and pulled her brother up to safety. The hardest part of making decisions is the unknown. How long until she would know if she had saved her brother or doomed him?
All right. So, without further ado, you find yourselves in the healer's tent. Brock is laying back on one of the cots, Wrenn,
Mm-hmm.
and Tef was standing over him. He had just completed the rune. And of course, half of your party still remains in the entrance at the front of the winding canvas tent. Now, he did say something ominous, and the ground began to shake. So, Bimbly, make a perception check.
Okay. Check. 18?
18. All right. You notice panic in Teff's eyes. The young boy leaps forward and he attempts to dart out of the room. And it's that rumbling that has been occurring. It begins to intensify. The earth trembles underfoot. At first, just an ever so soft pulse, then a rippling of energy thrumming through the party's feet. The sick refugees in the other cots are laying there awake at the first tremor, then sort of like a nervous laughter echoes through the camp before a calm strikes again. And then there's nothing. And then a mighty rumble crashes like thunder from the earth as the ground beneath Canvas Town churns and groans. Then it collapses towards the back of the relief encampment. The white canvas tents suddenly get pulled down around you guys, and you can hear like cots toppling in other rooms, and sinkholes begin to appear everywhere. And Teff vanishes from sight, Bimbly. However, with your perception check, you do note that he is down below, hanging off the precipice of the rock, looking up at you. What would you like to do?
Where does down below mean? Is there like another step down on a ledge somewhere?
So the room that you were in, just basically the earth, the back end of the canvas tent has sheared away. Several cots have fallen down into the basically a sinkhole. And the boy who was darting out, probably trying to go towards his mother, was included in that towards the back end of the tent.
Right.
So as this occurs, the tents have basically just been yanked down into that hole, and you can see the back end of Canvas Town is just exposed here, and with that trench where the grave was being dug and all the remains were being thrown, it's just grown immensely in size.
Okay, I'm gonna try and help him up. Any checks?
Yeah, strength athletics. But he's like 90 pounds and you weigh 300 pounds? Ish?
What?
Yeah, it's not a challenging check, but what you got?
Okay, Bimbly weighs 400 and something pounds, and my athletics check.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Bimbly, my athletics check was 12.
Okay, yeah, that's more than enough. The boy probably weighs 90 pounds, soaking wet. So Bimbly, you're able to reach down and just sort of pick him up by the arm and set him down. What are the rest of you doing? So, including in the aforementioned front chamber, you guys are not with your party, but at this point you're hearing screams and panic is setting in the villagers. Probably a little concerned.
I'm throwing on mage armor immediately.
Okay. Understandable.
Mike, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry, the dogs are going off there. I'm gonna draw my pike and can I just open the back flap of the tent? That'll go towards the area they headed off to.
Okay, so you went ahead through the sick tents?
No, I want to just open the flap just to see into that area.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, as soon as you open the flap, you can see that all of those tents that were lined up harboring the ill, they've all just slid down that sinkhole.
Okay.
Kevin will see what Thokk is doing, that he's preparing to fight, and he'll look over and so, fight time?
It might be. It seems a hole has erupted in the earth.
Kevin will cast Bark Skin on himself to prepare.
Okay.
Can I see any change in Brock after the boy had cast that or written those runes on his hand?
Funny you should mention that. Make a medicine check for me, Wrenn.
9.
Okay. With that check, you can't tell like if he's gotten better, but you do notice that he has not gotten worse, because it's around this time that you begin to notice the state of those that survived the sinkhole's appearance. But they are ill behind you on the cots lining the back end. And most of them had toppled over. If you look over at them, they have become goopy messes. Their skin instantaneously began to just like bubble, pulse, and just liquefy, leaving their bones and clothing behind. But not Brock. Brock is okay.
All right. Am I still wearing that periapt?
You are.
All right. I'm gonna grab Brock's hand and book it to the exit.
Okay. You begin to pull on Brock, and he's like, I would love to go with you, but I'm feeling very weak. He does try and get up and like hobble after you, but he's moving very slowly.
Okay.
Am I in the tent too?
Damn.
You're in the front room with Thokk.
Okay. I don't really have any heals right now. I'll just tell him, Brock, I think whatever that kid did to you is working. Stay safe, get to somewhere with stable ground, and I'll be back to find you.
Oh, all right. Where should I go, though? Just away from here?
Go toward the wall of the city, and I'll find you there.
Oh, okay. And you see him, he sort of steps over his broken cot and begins just hobbling that way, away from the sinkhole. For you, those of you in the front room, Thokk, when you're holding that canvas tent up, you can see there is a plane of earth that is still, whole, and it does lead to your party. You can see your party mates standing over there, and Sarah Haversham too. Don't forget she's with you. She looks completely bewildered, a little bit on the sad side too, probably. She's been caring for these people for weeks, and half of them have just disappeared into the earth. And the other half melted, so that's not a plus.
Does it seem like between where we're currently at and where Brock is, like, do we have like a line of sight on that?
Absolutely, because their tents, all of those tents out there had gotten like yoinked down and pulled out of their stakes. So there's clear sight lines. But there's many a pile of nasty looking ooze, and it's pretty infectious.
No touch.
No touch.
I look back to Seth and Kevin, and I'm just like, it doesn't seem to be safe to venture out to. There's still piles of that will be infected in seconds.
I mean, is any black ooze good to consume?
No, but we know this is particularly lethal.
Well, should we start shepherding people back to the wall? Or let them die?
That is a tough question to answer. Putting ourselves at great risk.
I mean, they will be sent to the void one way or another. Why not sooner rather than later?
I feel that we could do more good if we stay healthy and stay alive.
Very good. I guess we'll start ushering people towards the wall, best we can.
Okay.
People who aren't melted.
Yeah, so everyone that was ill with the disease has melted, as best you can tell. There are still people. I mean, Canvas Town was pretty large, and the medical or triage tents were not far from the remainder of the tents, just standard living where you guys are staying. For the most part, the back end half of that has also sunk into the earth, from what you guys can see. But there are a lot of people outside milling about. Mostly nervously. They're sort of approaching the scene like, what the hell happened here? And some of them are running away. There's probably some minor cases of like people looting some of the tents, taking advantage of just the chaos. But it's not like full-blown turmoil yet.
Mm-hmm. This is a weird question, but the people who melt, is that being funneled anywhere, or is it just kind of in piles on the floor?
Totally normal question, by the way. No worries about that.
Do you see my notes, Bryce? Everyone make a perception check. Everyone with a sight line on ooze, which is basically all of you.
for a second.
I got a 9.
Same.
16.
12.
11.
12
Okay.
for Kevin.
Yeah. All right. So, I almost called you Fenric, Ben. Kevin. Kevin, you note first on your side that some of the ooze is making a squelching, sucking noise, and they're just in piles where you're at. Wrenn, you note that the ooze that's fallen down into the precipice already, or I'm sorry, the hole, the chasm, whatever you want to call it. It is emitting steam and mist. It's like something down in the depths of the caverns below is putting power through it, and something is reacting, and mists are slowly beginning to spill upward.
Okay. That's not good.
Kevin will convey to Thokk that the sucky ooze is going.
Seems this may be the end of days. Finally.
Of course, the cultist.
Kevin rolls his eyes and ignores Seth again. Just
Why do you hate me?
because you're a liar and a bad person.
I will show you. I'm not that bad, Kevin.
So what's up with Ash? Did you grab the kid?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so Tef is sitting with you. As of now that you guys have noticed that the ooze is beginning to move and things are going down into the sinkhole, Tef is staring despondently back at where his mother had disappeared from. Sarah is just sort of muttering to herself, like, what do I do? What do I do? And now we're going to have a little skill challenge here. I want you guys to tell me what you are attempting to do, and there will be a series of checks. Because as of now, something has begun to stir from the depths below. So, just explain to me what you're going to attempt to do, what you want to accomplish, whether it be like finding someone in Canvas Town and getting them to safety, or just straight up leaving, abandoning the place for your own safety. We'll go through this and let me know what you want to attempt, and I'll give you a series of checks.
What's the doctor's name again? Sarah Haversham. I'm gonna go to her and would be like, my lady, please calm yourself. This is no time to break down. And I'll give her a copper piece, and I'm gonna lie to her and tell her, with Shar's might, usher these people into the walls to higher ground. She will protect you. L, cult symbol.
Okay. All right. So first, Scott, your first check, or Seth, rather, I should say, make a dexterity acrobatics check for me.
Sure.
As you attempt to jump over the piles of ooze to get to Sarah Haversham at the far end of the relief tents.
Please make this check.
He says, what was it again? Dex?
I don't want to see
dexterity
you not make
acrobatics.
this check.
That is a flat 13.
Okay. High enough.
Just hit it 10, yeah.
You see Seth
big
like
old goose egg mod.
Yeah. Seth lurches out of the door past Thokk and begins to like run, and he's like, whoa, and you just barely dance over a couple of these piles of ooze, coming dangerously close to one before stopping before Sarah. You give her the copper piece. She looks at you quizzically. I would like a charisma deception check.
Sure. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
It's a 9.
All right. You lie to her face. And she just looks right back at you and says, I don't think that gods can save us now.
Well, these people still need help regardless.
Make a persuasion check. Just with flat honesty. This is the best of 3, third and final check.
Sure. That is a 19.
Okay. She agrees, steadfast. She says, "You're right. I should be a better leader to these people. They've trusted me this far. I'll take them to safety. and she indeed does begin to run out and try and corral some of the people that are losing their collective shit.
So, one of these days I'll make that deception check to get cold followers.
No, you're the worst liar on earth. Kevin probably saw you lie to this woman, and
Yep, just digging that hole deeper, Scott.
I got a +7. I can't roll past like a 3.
all right, who would like to go next?
Can I go out and try to find a guard?
You can. As you know, this is a very low patrol area. You know for a fact that there will be a guard back at the Barrow Gate, the main entrance to the city. But it's a bit of a hike.
Can I try to instead find the woman who was within the prayer tent?
Sure. Teresa Saffron?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So first, if you're taking a safe route, make a survival check for me, as this is going to be you navigating your way over to the Acolytes Center, but through the mad chaos that has become this place.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
Okay, yeah. You get there no problem, and not only that, you do so in record time. No one gives you a hassle.
Cool.
Now please make a perception check to see if you can find her. 17. All right. Yeah, you scan the Acolyte Center very quickly, and you notice that there is no one that you recognize in there. All of the attendees have appeared to have fled. Would you like to maybe investigate to see if there's evidence of her having been there? Unfortunately, this might prove to be fruitless.
Instead of that, let me just, I'll yell to them, so the ground may collapse here any moment. It is best to get to the walls.
Okay, so you're just yelling to like the people milling about? Okay. Yeah, a few of the people take note of you. Make a persuasion check just to see how you are received. Since you're a half-orc
10.
warrior. 10? Okay, it's like a 50-50 mix. Half the people are like, this guy's, yeah, we should listen to him. The earth just literally sank into itself back there. And the other half is like, he's full of shit. But yeah, so a good number of people head towards the city walls. Where would you like to head? You're a few minutes away from the party at this point of travel.
Let me head back towards where I left off, because my whole goal here was just to get more people towards safety.
Okay.
So I'll head back to that medical tent that we were.
All right. Would anyone else like to attempt something? Bimbly?
I want to get just as far out of the reach, like to the edge of the sinkhole back. I'm not going to be dexterous about moving through goop if I have to.
Nope, yeah.
And I'm going to set Tef down and tell him, go to the city walls. Whatever is happening down there, whatever well there is, it is not your fate. Go.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Ooh. 12?
All right. Tef looks up at you. He's got some tears in his eyes. His lip is quivering, and he just looks around and sees no one that he knows, and slowly nods his head and begins to walk backward toward the city wall.
Okay. I'm just gonna go back to where the goops were happening and draw my sword and just kind of check on everybody of our party.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't have 3 objectives, so since you succeeded on the first, we'll just call it that.
Oh, wait, one more. Is Sarah able to get out without, like, having to dodge goop?
Sarah has the other parry act, so Sarah is immune. Yeah.
Never mind, those are fine.
Yeah, so Sarah is immune and Wrenn is immune, but the rest of the party, other than yourself being a warforged and being immune to the disease, you're good. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Kevin or Wrenn?
Bryce, you're muted.
Wrenn, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Can I go try to find Terrence Stillings at the Forge of Invention?
You may make a survival check.
Okay. Wait, can I Can I use Expeditious Retreat to just sprint my way through town?
I will give you an automatic success if you are willing to burn a spell slot to run across town.
Okay.
Okay. So auto success on your first attempt. Best of 3.
Does Kevin see Wrenn doing that?
Yeah, I would say so.
Can Kevin just follow along and just try to do whatever? He just trusts that whatever Wrenn is doing is a good idea right now, and he's like, this is fun, let's go.
Okay. Wrenn is racing with Expeditious Retreat, so he does have the ability to double dash, so he's going a little bit faster than you. Like
Kevin doesn't understand that that's going to be a problem, so he's going to keep following after him anyway.
He's going very fast.
Oh, man. You've been working out, buddy.
So I would like you to make let's do a survival wisdom check. This would be like, you see where he's going, you know, like math symbols appear above your head as you decide like how to navigate the crowd to get there.
As that usually happens for wee little dwarf. Unnatural 20. Boo.
Hey.
All right.
Wait, you said survival? That's a +4. That's 22.
All right. All right, Kevin. Again, literally everyone around you suddenly can see these symbols. You're just you're mapping the path through people and just zigzagging your way. You're a very small creature, so it's likely you don't quite arrive at the same time as Wrenn, but you see where he goes, and you're not far behind.
Okay.
All right, Wrenn. You've arrived at the Forge of Invention, a small smithy shop. Outside there is a horse that seems completely oblivious to what's going on. He's just spinning around the mill that powers the billows. And the door is wide open. However, you don't really hear any commotion within.
Can I go inside?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
you walk inside. What do you want to do?
I mean, I'd like to see if Terrence is there. If possible, let him know of the calamity and tell him to get to safety. If no one's there, then I want to see if that book is around.
Okay. Terrence Stillings is there with Darby Hoff, his dwarven companion. Terrence, the small gnome, he looks up at the doorway expectantly and says, "You've returned! Did you bring my spoons?"
Yes, no time to talk. Shit's going down. The earth is literally crumbling underneath us. We've got to get to safety. Let's go.
All right, make a persuasion check, as Terrence really wants his spoons.
Oh, let's go. 17.
You're right. Spoons are not of importance when the earth is spilling in on itself. But you owe me another set.
You got it.
All right, let me just grab my handy book, and I'll be on my way. And you see him, he picks up his book, his prized possession, which is missing an unfortunate piece of paper. And you see Darby Hoff look up, and he grumbles under his breath. He's a very broody old smith, sort of grizzled. You can see like fire smelting scars on his arms. And he begins to gather up some of his more important, precious tools. So Terrence does run outside with you, and he says, "We have to save Boots."
Boots, is that the horse?
Yes.
Okay.
You look at the horse, and it literally has boots on its hooves. I named him Mud, but he doesn't like the mud, so I gave him Boots and renamed him.
Okay. What is required for saving him? Can we just go over and untie him, or do you ride him?
Oh, nobody rides Boots. But yeah, we have to untie him. Sorry, come on.
Okay. All right.
And he runs over. He leads you to the tackle, and it's just a tangled mess of knots. And he looks like he really wants to preserve his masterful knotwork. He would prefer you didn't cut them, but if you would like to attempt, you can make a dexterity sleight of hand check.
All right. I'll try.
Do Boots.
That's a no-go.
You're doing it wrong. No, like this.
I'm probably just like, still the expeditious retreat is not only affecting my feet but my hands, and just can't quite.
Yeah, your hands are blurring over the knot, and it's just getting tighter and tighter. The horse is in discomfort now. Fine. And he pulls a knife out and he slashes the tackle. And he slaps Boots on the ass, and the horse clomps off into the distance towards the city.
Okay.
All right, Kevin, you've witnessed this. What are you doing?
I assume that whatever he's doing is the right thing to do, and Kevin tries to help.
Okay, so Kevin comes rushing up to you. Wrenn, is there anything else that you would like to attempt to accomplish here?
Not really. I mean, basically just kind of a survey of the area. Like, is this systemic? Are the potholes kind of going in any type of ordering, or are they just random? That kind of thing.
They're bigger than potholes, Bryce. But yeah,
sinkholes.
Yeah. They're only in one location, and Bimbly would have the best idea as to why that is, perhaps.
Okay.
But it's just all along the border, the northern border of Canvas Town.
Is that the border closest to the wall of the city?
No, it's sort of perpendicular coming out from the city.
Got it.
Where they were dumping a lot of the remains.
Okay.
And so it just runs the length behind the relief center, basically.
Okay.
Does Kevin see that Terry is stressed out by everything that's happening?
Oh, absolutely.
Kevin gives him a berry to try to make him feel better. You're welcome.
You're a delightful fellow. What's your name?
I'm Kevin.
Oh, Kevin, that's lovely. We should have tea sometime.
Should probably wait till the ground stops falling out from everybody first.
I have these lovely I had these lovely spoons that Wrenn still owes me. Wrenn doesn't reply.
Kevin's waiting for Wrenn to confirm or deny the existence
I'm in this conversation also.
I just showed up and I gave him a berry because he was stressed out.
I've got the spoons right here. I'll give them to you later. I promise.
Oh, I've had the wool pulled over me one too many times that way, Wrenn.
I'll get his damn spoons out. Give him his spoons.
Okay.
Very important plot point right here.
He tucks the book behind the spoons, and he's clutching them for dear life.
Is the horse untied?
Yeah.
The horse is untied. Okay.
The horse is halfway to the city by now.
Kevin will look to Wrenn. Should we go back?
Yeah. Let's find the others.
All right. Yeah, you guys are welcome to do so. And the party sort of reconvenes. It's not terribly difficult to find one another. The skill challenge, we'll say, has ended. You were all successful in your best of 3 attempts, with Seth being the only one to have risked his livelihood. But well done. It's at this point, though, that the mists rising out of that sinkhole, that trench that runs for a few hundred feet, they're beginning to spill upward and sort of billow across Canvas Town. Uppo. And you guys all see that. If you want to investigate closer, that might require some checks or a description of what you're doing.
I'm pretty curious. I think I'm gonna head over and check it out.
All right. Kevin wanders towards the mists.
Can I grab Kevin's shoulder and and I'm just gonna throw the periapt on his neck.
Okay.
And give him a pat on the back.
I guess I won't provide a check for something that might save Kevin's life. But yeah, you can throw the necklace over his neck.
Okay.
Kevin appreciates that and gives Red another berry and then wanders off into the mist.
All right, so you literally walk into the mist. You don't just stop.
Well, now I was gonna look, but now I feel freaking invincible. I got a little necklace on. Kevin's feeling good, man. He's ready to go. Yeah.
All right, Kevin. So you have disappeared into the mist. Your party standing behind, watching in horror. So the sight is obscured here in this dismal realm. You can see the broken cots. You can see now clearly that the ooze that has not crept down into the sinkhole itself is leaching outwards. There's tendrils of it growing out of the puddles of human remains. And they're just reaching towards anything living.
oozy stuff. Like
Yeah, Oozy Boys.
oozy boys. Okay.
That sounds like a bad rap.
Oozy,
group, but-
oozy boys.
Oozy Boys.
Lil Uzi Vert.
Okay. So I witnessed this, and I'll maybe walk back towards where Wrenn was to convey that there's well, tell me when I get to him. Do I just go back
Okay,
to him and it's fine?
So Kevin, you've wandered into the mist. You've identified the puddles of human remains are acting conspicuously.
Yeah.
But you could always go deeper, man. Like, you haven't hit the trench yet. This is just the ruins of the relief tent.
Well, let's yeah, let's go. Kevin wanders on in. Let's
Yeah. Okay. All right, Kevin. You've headed deeper into the mist. It's getting darker. You can hear that slurping, squelching sound even more now. And you peer over the precipice down into the darkness. Make a perception check if you just want to get like a lay of the land, or make an investigation check if you want to zoom in on something specific.
let's go perception first, because I don't have anything to zoom in on, right? There's nothing that seems really clear. Okay, perception, 13 plus 2 is 15. I know math.
Okay. 15?
Yep.
All right. You see a looming, bulbous mass, pulling pieces of itself about its frame like it's reorganizing itself at will. Gaping holes of bloodied flesh and loosely forming sockets reveal human-like parts and ooze coming together and then coming to life. You see pupils begin to form, tentacles. A shape is growing at a massive scale down in the trench.
Okay.
Would you like to get closer?
I think that's enough for Kevin to go back and report. We only had a short rest from the last session, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Kevin has any wild shapes right now. I think Kevin is stuck being a gnome. So Kevin is aware of this fact and runs back to the party to report what he sees, and he's has a very specific set of instructions for everyone.
Yeah. Okay, Kevin, as you're rushing back through the fray of what occurred here, the ruins, you do trip over something, and it appears to be a corpse. However, an ooze has found the corpse. And as you run, you kind of look back over your shoulder, like, what was it doing as the ooze was animating the form? You could see the joints were like buckling and swelling and cracking and popping. The arms began to move like at a very unnatural pace in order. And some things are beginning to like get up and move around.
Uh-oh.
So you burst back out into the open space, and you are back to your party.
Okay. Hey guys, there's a big hole in the ground. There's a big blobby boy, and he's got oozy things, and he's got pupils, and he's got bloody holes, and he makes weird noises, and then the bodies are having a bunch of ooze inside them too, and they grab me in the leg, but I got away, and it's okay, but I can't turn into a bear right now, so I hope we should figure out what goes on, but I don't think I want to go back in there again. Thanks.
The void is opening. It is the end.
Do we fight it?
Do we fight the end of the world?
No.
In our state?
The
Seth,
blob.
I don't think this is the end of the world. Where's that mist in relation to where we are?
Sorry, you're muted, Mike.
You can answer Bryce first.
Okay. So the mist's rolling towards you, but it's very, very slow. Like, I would say it's moving like 10 feet every 6 seconds. Not to be like mechanically
Weird numbers.
yeah, weird.
I was just saying, my character is like, it may be best that we let it come to us rather than fight it on its own turf.
Can I get-
We should find shelter in the walls.
Bimbly?
Can I get to the edge real quick and look down into that, like, try and look for any, like, sort of central well or trough or something?
Sure, so Bimbly is now going to take off into the mist.
Well, I just want to get to the very edge and see if there's anything, like, any sort of central building thing. I don't know, a well.
Make a history check. Because
Okay.
you've been around Canvas Town for a little while. Maybe you can just remember where it is.
That's a nat 20.
There is no well. You would remember it. There definitely should be because it's a, but there isn't.
All right.
Yeah. You don't think there's any sort of underground network or deep well?
Do we think? No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. I interrupted. I was gonna say, do we think this has anything to do with the Bowl of Creation? Like we came up from this? All right, Kevin. Hey, do you guys remember that time that we threw Seth into the bowl and he turned into and he was fine, but then we got him out and then it was on fire, and also the angel guy said that it don't mess with that, and then we did anyway.
I was not thrown. I threw myself in and
Sure.
survived.
Anyway,
And it was
asking the
most
people that
pleasant time of
matter.
my life.
Does anyone?
I think this has to do with the river of ectoplasm down in the gloam light.
There's no
That's
way
not
we can
good.
stop a whole river.
Now that you've said that, Bryce, you do realize that the goop that these people have been turning into looks a suspicious amount like that.
Okay. In fact, now that I think of it, I'm more and more sure these turning into something associated that was flowing directly into my old city. Although it seemed more calm down there, this is obviously much more chaotic. I don't know if we can fight something like this without getting infected ourselves. So just be aware of yourselves over these next few minutes.
I still advise we go back inside the walls and take shelter. We're no position to fight. Kevin looks like he's dying.
Only a little bit.
Is Tef still with us?
Nope.
I
Is
want to know what to do. I don't know.
is Sarah with us? Haversham?
Nope. It wouldn't be hard to find her, though. She is, like, shepherding people towards the wall of the city.
Okay.
Tef, think you could inscribe the rune of protection on us?
If he was with you, he would love to.
So it's just us.
It's just the party. And there's, like, random villagers that are milling about, running, gathering their possessions.
Oh no, I was making that as like a suggestion, like,
Yeah.
or like go find Tef.
You could. You get the feeling it would take some time, perhaps, for him to do so, but it's a definite possibility. It does seem to be working for Brock, who is, well, also headed towards the city.
Somewhere. Kevin, can I borrow that necklace for a second?
Of course. And Kevin just takes it off and gives it back to Wrenn.
So I still have Expeditious Retreat. It's 10 minutes as long as I'm concentrating on it. Can I just go up to the edge of the mist and take out the thistle glow from my herb bag and see if it kind of parts the mist or does anything like that? Mm-hmm. This was the one that I found down in the Underdark that seemed to kind of push away evil or reveal the truth or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, so you pull the thistle glow out of your bag of herbing. You hold it up to the mists. Make a nature check as you do so to see if you can notice any interactions between the two.
16.
Okay. As you sort of waft the plant life through it, knowing it's had an impact on some magical effects in the past, there is a minor effect. You can see a slight lessening in like the coloration of the mist.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't seem to physically change it at all other than the coloring.
Okay. All right. That satisfies my curiosity. I'm going back to
Okay. As you begin to return to the party, you hear a clicking noise. in the backs, from the far ends of the mists from the trench. It's just this low, soft, slow clicking, just. And as you kind of look over your shoulder briefly as you're returning to the party, and where that coloration had occurred, that like basketball-sized hole in the mist, you see a silhouette of something approaching you.
Music timing.
Dude, that timing was great. Oh my god.
Okay. So, how far away is it?
It's pretty hard to tell with the mists.
Okay.
Could be close, could be far. It's very Funhouse mirror-y.
Nothing good, I think, is coming from there. I'm just gonna throw a firebolt toward that thing.
Okay. Make an attack roll with, with disadvantage because he's obscured. But you do see his silhouette, so I'll allow you to chuck the firebolt.
Oh. Joke's on you. I rolled 2 5s.
Oh man. Okay, so the firebolt ripples into the fire. What was the last time that you did this, Bryce? Critically failed and lit a giant's house on fire.
Right.
Ooh.
So the firebolt ripples through the smoke, and you see it sort of coalesce behind it. You know, the little tail spin, and it just washes into something in the mists. You see perhaps like a canvas tent begin to light a flame, but other than that, but the clicking, I would say it's now intensifying, not from just this source, but one to the left and the right now.
Oh boy. All right. I'm gonna book it back to the group and start yelling, clicking, noises, movement.
It is time to go. And I start walking towards the wall. I'm over it.
Okay. Seth is
I'm
like, go ahead. Seth is movie star walking towards the city.
What is movie star walking?
Just like slowly walk. Did I do that?
One more time, Gabe. Can
Is
we
it
get that
like
one more
when-
time? La 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 la.
It's like, the bad guys don't look at explosions thing.
Guys don't like
Yeah.
explosions.
Yeah. Like there's like a massive cloud of evil darkness like slowly approaching behind him, but he's just taking his time. I'm sorry.
Are there sunglasses in this world?
It's a very specific question, sir.
Yes.
We can look into getting some enchanted for you, I'm sure.
No, I'm kidding. All right.
I know.
I'd like to address the party of whoever's still here. Not all of us can fight the disease off. We're not all immune to it. If we go back to the city walls, we can fight with the guard and try to keep them away, but I know of no other way to stop them from growing or coalescing or whatever they're glip-glopping down there.
Perhaps you're right. And perhaps we can get more periaps somehow.
Money.
Ash, you're immune to whatever this is, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I give the
Bimbly-
periap to Thokk, and you guys can serve as some kind of line while we get
That I can do.
Front lines.
I'll take off the periapt and just put it on Thokk and say, keep yourself safe.
So I literally take a knee since I'm 6'10".
Well,
You're being knighted.
Wrenn walks over to Kevin and just takes it off of Kevin, and then
No, I was wearing it.
I gave
You
it
took
back
it
to him.
back?
I
Yeah.
Oh
put
my
it back
God.
on him when he went in there.
worst DM ever. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did we have 2 periaps still, or did Sarah Haversham take the other one?
Technically, Sarah Haversham does have the other one. You could try and find her and see if she'd be willing to part with it. At this point, she was last seen toward the direction of the mists, and the mists are roiling inward
Okay.
very slowly.
Did we take a short rest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my wild shapes back.
Hey,
Short or long rest. I just learned about my character. All right, I was so scared that we were gonna. Let's go. Freaking Bear Kevin's freaking ready. Let's do some damage.
All right. How did you find that out? Did someone look that up for you?
No, I have it pulled up here, and I was like, wow, because
Okay.
I was trying to figure out like if I leveled up, if I gained like a third one, but no, short rest too. You sneaky beans, trying to fool Kevin just because he's gullible and believes you. That's
Now,
how
now
dare
he's a liar,
you,
too.
rest of my party.
I'm all about the deceit. Okay, so what do you guys want to do? The mists are getting pretty close to your location. Seth is power walking now.
how high are the mists? Like 10 feet or?
I would say at this point it's going up at an angle. So like the point of origin back at the trench, it's getting higher and higher and higher. But they're roiling downward. So they're at the tip, probably 10 feet high.
Okay. No, that's not. Yeah, I'm out too.
Head towards the walls. We will cover the bridge.
Okay.
All right. So those of you that are covering the retreat, are you staying here at this spot?
I think what I want to do is kind of like walking backwards while like just ahead of the mist.
Okay, so you're just giving them extra space.
Yeah, just keeping space for everybody.
Okay.
I'll be in the same step with him.
Okay.
That was a hiccup. That was painful.
Battle map being assembled.
All right. So the
Don't
party,
mind that.
Yeah, don't mind me. The party is approaching the city of Agrevorn at this point. The mists very clearly have completely covered Canvas Town at this point as you're crossing the field, the span of earth between what was the refugee camp Canvas Town and the black walls of Agrevorn. Now, as I may have described previously, Agrevorn is a 3-tiered city that surrounds a singular mountain peak. So the lowest tier, Camp Town, the camp
Canvas Town.
Hills. No, Canvas Town was the camp outside.
Oh, okay, so it's the city.
Yeah, the Campford foothills within the walls. You can see like the peaks of some houses poking over the edges of the walls. It's not a terribly imposing wall. However, like foot traffic, you wouldn't be able to climb it. It's probably 20 feet tall and just like this hodgepodge of different like stone and brick and wood, and then topped with a stone layer at the very top. So you guys have approached the wall. You can't see much of what's beyond it at this close. And within, there, right before the gate, there is a singular guard. Now, there aren't any refugees here. It looks as though all of the refugees that arrived earlier have passed through the gate already. And the guard is standing there with his staff at the ready, or rather a spear, and he's just staring squirrely-eyed at the rolling mists. Seth, you arrived first, so you get an opportunity to interact with this man first.
Okay. Is he like holding people outside or?
Only you now. So the gate I have a description for, actually.
Sure.
I have a lot of descriptions, apparently. The Barrow Gate is really more of a sunken path that led beneath the wall into the city Agrevorn, like some unfinished sewer drain. The black 20-foot tall of mist-matched walls opens up, and the tunnel shows a monstrous block that is, a monstrous rock blocking the way within the tunnel. At the very top of the rocks, there are sort of those eye hook screws that are drilled into the rock itself, and there's this large rope tied around them. And at the very top of the wall, you can notice that there is another guard who is peeking over top, but trying not to be noticed. And there is some sort of mechanism behind him, sort of like a large winch that he would, push to try and mechanically raise that rock. So it's not a traditional gate. It's not just like simply doors are opened. It's like a lot of manpower to open this gate.
Okay.
The guard is standing before you, shaking, spear drawn before him.
Okay.
He's not even looking at you. He's looking like through you.
Okay. May you grant me passage, guard? I seek
sorry.
refuge from the mist.
I can't do that. I don't think we have time. The gate's dropped already.
I was ordered by your master Caden to let me and my hopeful party coming behind me in immediately.
Make a persuasion check.
Would it be deception?
Sure.
Yeah, never told me that.
I mean, yeah.
That is a 24.
Okay, you finally lie your way to success, Scott. The guard looks at you, nods, and says, I'm sorry, I have no way to open this gate. We have to yell to the commander above, which is actually Caden. Do you know what's out in the smoke?
From what I was told from my little and frantic friend, ooze and shadows and monsters, oblivion, the end of the world, I think.
I wish you had led with that. Caden, please, let us in. He starts yelling up to his gate commander, the man that was peeking over the side. And you do, in fact, see Caden, and he yells back to you, I can't do that.
Why not?
Because whatever's in that mist, if it gets in this city, we're all dead.
So you're going to sacrifice one skinny, bald, young man?
Are you referring to my guard?
I'm referring to me. What have I done to you?
Oh. Well, aside from lying to me at literally every turn over the past week.
I forgot.
God, every single time, Scott, come on!
I'm afraid I don't trust you terribly. However, if you do know where my sister is, we did not account her among the refugees that have gotten in.
Have we gotten to him by this point?
I would say those of you that are not guarding the back have probably, you're within earshot.
Okay.
And what is your sister's name? What does she look like?
Sarah Haversham. You've met her.
The doctor?
She's a cleric, a medic, yes.
I pointed her into helping people inside. She should be here by now. If I had to take a guess, she's probably seen the void and is now swimming into nothingness forever.
Then I guess you won't mind joining her. Caden yells back down.
What
Got her way with words, Seth.
What if I could bring her back from oblivion and back inside the walls? I am a man of religion, after all.
Make a deception check.
Sure.
Oh my god.
I'm going to contest this one rather than set a DC. What you
Nat
got?
20, 27.
I'm going to hold you to that promise, son.
You may thank
Return
me.
my sister to me.
You may thank me and Goddess Shar when we are back in the city walls. And I'll just start. I'll ask, where was the last time you've seen her, if recently?
I don't think you have time for that. And he points behind you as the figures exit the mists. Those of you that arrived next to Seth, please make a perception check for me as well.
Is that Wrenn and I?
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bimbly. You are in the back with Thokk.
Damn it.
I love how many crits we've been getting. It's awesome.
Did you?
16 for me.
I got a 15.
Okay. So you... Yes, Bimbly.
They just walked out of the mist, but we're in front of the mist?
You're in front of the mist as it's coming, and those just came out. They're very, very close to you.
Okay.
Like, he noticed at the same time you would have noticed.
I was gonna say we probably don't have to make a perception check as it's like staring us right in the face.
Yeah. You would have a chance to yell back to the party as soon as what Wrenn and Kevin discover becomes knowledge. The two of you notice that the guard who was shaking, there's a thin layer of sort of that mucous membrane over his eyes that you recognized on someone else that was infected with the plague earlier. And I would like you all to roll for initiative.
Oh, balls. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Gabe, are we gonna switch?
Yeah, we can switch now. Is that good?
Just tell me when.
All right, switching now.
Oh no. It worked! I'm so excited.
Oh no.
I was so nervous there for a second.
Oh no. All right. Initiatives. Actually, if you guys could just send them to the Discord channel, that would probably be the easiest way for me to do this.
Oh no!
What a loser!
Poor Scott. No.
Poor Scott.
Oh no! I can't believe you done this. Oh man. This music is oddly calming now that we're not.
I'm gonna end it for the combat. Just hold your horses.
Have hole. Boots is inside the wall.
How long does Barkskin last?
I think it only lasts for a minute.
It's an hour, Gabe.
Oh, it is?
Look at you trying to. First of all, you try to tell me I can't
30
turn into a
seconds.
bear. Second of all, you come in here. That was a quiz for you, sir.
Oh man.
Y'all going
Like
to
I've
be
got
in
time
trouble.
to just read spells.
I know, especially when I'm pulling it up as I'm asking the question.
I was gonna bring it up at the time. I was like, I don't know if you want to use that yet. But...
Well, I saw God. Thokk pulled out his crap. Kevin doesn't know what he's doing. He's just getting ready to fight a puddle
follow
of
my lead.
people.
An hour is super nice though.
People puddles.
It's a people bubble.
People puddle. Purple people puddle.
People puddle.
Purple people puddle.
Puddle.
All right, I gotta actually focus on writing these in.
Yeah, you do that, sir. This is Wrenn stats. I'm making a second set of scenes so that we can have for skill checks and stuff.
Okay.
It'll pop up with whoever's doing the rolls so that people can see what they are. This will be Thokk skills.
Oh man. All right. So the mists are approaching the party. Let me get this music switched over so you're not calm anymore.
That woke me up. And then Seth's skill.
Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun
Yeah,
dun
back
dun.
to the skill challenge music.
I spelled Seth wrong.
Ba-ba-bum. All right. So the beasts that exit the mists, they vaguely resemble humanoid people, but their skin has been stretched, bubbled out. Now, bear in mind, these aren't the people that melted. These aren't the infected. These are individuals that weren't infected that got latched onto by these ectoplasmic entities, and so they were infected. And you see something peculiar about them, even more than just the strange shapes that their bodies have taken on. You can see that they've begun to grow new parts, like a mouth in place of the palm that's just vestigial, or like little fins or like bones, or like a spinal column is like wrapped and bulged around the side of them. Their fingers are all popped out of place. So these things are pretty horrendous looking. And so Bimbly and Thokk, you are in the lead as the three creatures have come out of the mists. The first one rushes you, Thokk, and he is going to attempt to take a bite out of you. Okay. So an unnatural 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, so he launches a long, disjointed limb forward, and the mouth that has grown in place of his hand just latches onto like your shoulder. You take 9 piercing damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
22.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
You could. So when the teeth like leach into your skin, you can feel that there's like grit and gook in the teeth, like something grainy is trying to like get into your bloodstream. It's pretty nasty. And I'm just gonna. Yeah. Okay. So that brings us to you, Kevin. It is your turn.
Bitey Kevin, go.
Okay.
I'm a bear.
Bonus action. Kevin turns into a bear.
Oh, we got a bear now.
That's right.
Kinda.
At least my squirrel isn't a panther again.
Is that a bear?
I have squirrel miniatures.
Someone's just not committed to the cause. I understand, Gabe. Just trying. I just want a little squirrel miniature. I'll get
one.
I'm gonna get him.
Okay. So technically, the man behind you, the guardsman, his skin has begun to crawl gray and translucent, and he's beginning to like fall down in on himself. But he hasn't completed his transformation yet.
Let's try to finish him off before he does.
Very good. Okay. So you move 5 feet. Make your attacks.
All right. And I still have Barkskin active. How long has this been going on?
Yeah, you've still got it.
Okay.
I wouldn't worry about it.
So I will use my bite first.
Okay.
And that is a 14 to hit.
Okay. You just manage to sink your teeth into the creature as something is slithering out of his skin. You can feel his skin coming away like a paper bag. Yeah, you put that in your mouth, man.
Well. YOLO. Do I roll damage for that, or is it?
Yeah, roll damage.
Okay, d8 plus 4. A 1 plus 4 is 5. Get bit, scrub.
Okay. All right. You sink your teeth in. You feel some give.
Swipey Kevin, go.
All right, make the attack, please.
Bitey Kevin, then Swipey Kevin. Let's go. All right, this one is an unnatural 20 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
All right. 2d6. That is 4 plus 4 is 8 damage for the swipey swipes.
Okay. All right. This time, the creature bursts out of the chest cavity of the man as he tumbles down to the ground, dead. Hopefully, and you easily just rail your claws right down the throat of the long, thin, ooze-like creature. Yeah. All right. Thokk, it is your turn.
All right. I will attack against the creature who struck me.
Okay.
Or just bit me. That is a 22 to hit.
All right. Yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay. I'll use a battle maneuver. I'll try a trip attack on that.
Okay. You are welcome to do so.
So I'll need a DC 15 strength save.
Unfortunately, the creature is sure-footed.
All right. That will be 13 piercing damage in total.
Okay. Yeah, that's a solid strike.
Okay. And again, with another 22 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that also hits.
And 12 piercing damage.
Okay. I don't even... All right. Thokk, you just pull back with your war pick and just begin to plunge holes into the chest of this creature that took a bite out of you. He's still standing. He's definitely reeling backwards in pain, letting out like that guttural clicking and leaking various oozes. Is that your turn?
That is... Actually, Let me retreat just 5 feet, and then as the free action, I'll yell to Bimbly to kind of cover that ground I left open, so we can be like almost shoulder to shoulder.
Okay. So you want to move backwards 5 feet?
Yeah, just like right there.
You will take 2 attacks of opportunity if you do.
Oh, I didn't realize I have that creature right there. Okay, I'll just hold.
Okay. All right. Bimbly, it is your turn.
I'm within range of 2 creatures, right?
Yep.
Okay. Shoots magoots. I'm gonna use Flame Blade on the green one in front of me.
Okay. Make an attack.
25 to hit.
That definitely hits.
He takes 12 plus 1 moment. 1d. Come on. 12 plus 8 damage.
Damn. Okay. All right. Thokk, you see Bimbly's blade ignite with flame and lance across the chest of this creature, just leaving like a bubbling, oozing cut right along the torso. All right, Bimbly, is that your turn?
Can do.
Use the cantrip, so that's like... Well, actually, that might be a melee attack. You might still be able to attack again. I'm not sure.
I mean, it's a cantrip, but it requires a melee attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna say let's be safe and just say you only get the 1 if you do that for now.
Okay.
But
Yep.
I can look it up after. All right. Okay. The creature that burst out of the chest of that poor guardsman, Kevin, it looms its way up like a snake being tamed, I guess. It's a very snake-like creature, however girthier. And it's going to attempt to attack you.
Are you trying to say tentacle without saying tentacle?
I think so.
Yeah, going to girthier was a much better option, Gabe. Way to play that.
Instead, I went with girthy snake-like creature. Rising. Great.
Oh no.
Those who, what is it? Those who try to avoid their fate often meet it on the path to avoid it or something.
You're welcome. All right. It is going to make an attack against you. Actually, it's just going to slither its way around you. Not making things better, huh? I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Dex. All right, I need my bear stats. Just a sec. Oh, I have my bear stats on screen. Look at that.
I can't see it.
16.
Okay, you do manage to succeed. As the creature attempted to force itself over your face, too, so that the ooze would cover your snout, and it would have kept you from breathing. However, you managed to, juke out of its way a little bit.
Kevin ain't about that mess.
Okay, and you will not take damage from it this turn. So that will bring us to
Wrenn or Seth?
Wrenn. Yeah, Wrenn.
Okay.
It is your turn.
Okay. I saw that flame blade, Bimbly being pretty successful. So I'm going to conjure up a firebolt and send it straight ahead of me to that green creature.
Okay, make an attack roll, please.
Oh. 26.
Damn. Is that not a crit?
It is a crit.
Oh. All right.
But that's not the damage. That's the attack.
Well, yeah, that's where you want it, though.
Oh, so I get full damage?
You get to roll all rolled dice twice.
Oh,
Crit
all
hit,
right.
baby!
That's a lot.
It's been a while since you've gotten a crit.
24 damage.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
There once was a green flame-struck creature there. There is now just a pile of ash. As you see your firebolt just lance across the battlefield, smiting that creature into nothingness.
It makes me happy.
All right, is that your turn?
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna move so that I'm not between two bad things. I'm just gonna get a little closer to the wall side.
Okay.
Toward you specifically.
Okay. How far would you like to go?
Just put me next to the wall.
So that's 25 movement right there.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. The next creature, he was smote into oblivion. All right. The final creature is going to approach you, Bimbly, and take a swing at you with his gross form. 7 to hit.
No.
All right. He attempts to attack you with a hand that's more like a boneless noodle, and it just sort of slaps into your armor and slides off.
Oh, I need to clean that later.
Yeah. All right. That will end his turn. Seth, it is your turn.
All right. How far am I away from the guy at the gate, or the tentacle?
I actually moved you instead of Wrenn, so I'm swapping you. You're 10 feet away from him.
10 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to cast I'm going to bonus action. I'm going to use a level 2 spell slot and get 2 sorcery points back.
Okay.
So, and then for my main action,
What does that look like, Scott?
I probably take the pendant out of my robe.
Okay.
My mom's pendant. And I probably, it's probably a little dark shimmer to me.
Okay.
And I kind of look a little possessed, and then
All right.
yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. And then for my main action, I want to firebolt the snake that tried to kill Kevin.
Okay. Make an attack roll, please.
Sure. +7. It's a nat 20, so 27.
Okay.
All right. Roll your critical damage.
Sure.
If I have to.
Some Kevin points back.
I hate you guys.
That is 19 fire damage.
All right. You hit the creature, and it looks like it would have withstood the blast as the fire bolt envelops the facial features of this ooze-like girthy boy. However, as the face ignites, you note that the remainder of the creature it's like it was soaked in oil. Like the entire thing just goes up, Home Alone style.
Okay.
And the fires just ignite and ravage the corpse, and that would have doubled the damage. Because this creature was vulnerable to the fire, and it just disintegrates.
I actually also forgot to roll another dice, so it was 23.
So it would have been 46 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, yeah, so that was not even a threat. Very good. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's it. I'll just kind of look at Kevin, just like give him a nod.
My lord.
So you shouldn't have done anything there, because now Kevin thinks you just did it to try and lie to him in the future. But no,
Yeah.
thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Kevin looks back at you and goes, "Bleh."
All right. So we are back to the top of the turn order, and a few things are occurring. The gate has begun. The boulder in the gate has been pulled halfway up so that you could crawl through.
Look at this production
However,
value. Removable gate.
the mists also move.
I didn't even know that was the mist.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, they're dryer sheets.
No, they're mist.
Don't try to dry your shoes.
Wonderful mist.
My room smells really nice.
They smell like fresh linens and doom. Oh no!
It's so clean.
The darkness smells summer breeze.
Nothing will have static anymore. Oh god. All the static in the world's drained away.
All right. So the mists have moved, and your allies have just completely vanished from your sightlines, and the way appears to be safe. However, those of you in the mists, I need Constitution saving throws
Who would
as
that
the
be?
mists begin to coil around you.
Thokk and Bimbly, right?
Yep.
22.
Oh gosh. A natural 20.
Ah, drat. You escape again. All right. You're both able to shake off the mists when your turn comes around. And whatever was attempting to get into your armor and into your body and poison you, perhaps, was unable to do so. Okay. So, top of the order. The first Rudderkin, as they are known, is going to strike out against you, Thokk. However, he is going to have advantage, and you will have disadvantage so long as you remain in the mists.
Okay.
Should be used to that by now with all the
all the deformities.
all the free time.
Yeah.
I rolled a 5 and a 4, so I'm gonna guess your AC is higher than 10.
Yeah.
All right. Despite the grave advantage this creature has with its home turf, you just feel the wet noodle slapping, and nothing happens. Seems he attacked you with his bad boneless arm.
Okay.
This is a joke of a combat. It's supposed to be fun. All right. So that's his turn. Kevin, that brings us to you.
Okay, so are there any enemies that are between everyone else and the gate?
Not that you can see.
Not that I... That's a very specific way to say that, Gabe. Now I'm suspicious. I will move back to kind of cover the retreat of the people leaving the mist.
Okay. So you're going to move back towards the mist or back towards the wall?
Back towards the mist a little bit as something to take action economy if people, like, basically positioning myself as, like, a cutoff so that they're not just getting beat up on by themselves as the mist continues to move forward.
Okay, I moved you 10 feet toward the mist.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Would you like to ready an action, like to attack anything that runs past you? Or
anything that's not Thokk or Bimbly, basically, that runs past me, I will ready to try an attack.
Okay. All right. Kevin, that's your turn. Thokk, your turn. You know you've just been assaulted feebly from the darkness.
Got noodle smacked.
Try to hit it back.
All right, you have disadvantage.
Used to that after like the 3 sessions of having that.
You got close, man.
Well, the lower roll was a 13 on the dice, so that's a 21 to hit.
All right. That definitely hits.
I'm going to try to hit him with the trip attack again. I had a
Okay.
DC 15 strength save.
Oh, okay.
So you're just tripping everywhere because you can't see.
It's just a gay tripper.
Sweep attack.
All right. What is that dexterity?
Strength save.
Oh, okay. He just barely maintains his balance.
Okay. It'll 16 piercing damage.
All right. But it doesn't matter because the war pick goes right into his dome, despite you being in the darkness and not being able to see him. You just sort of feel it like slip right in, and it just like pulls out real easy. It's like I don't know, poking a mashed potato that's boiling. And you hear a thump, sloosh, as he falls dead to the ground.
Okay. Can I leave the mist?
You may begin to walk backwards, yes. Since you were able to succeed from not being paralyzed.
Jesus. Let me go back 20.
Okay.
And as I'm
next to Kevin.
And as I'm yelling out, I'll yell to... As I'm walking, I'll yell to Bimbly. Dispatch your foe. Leave this. It's my turn.
All right. Bimbly, you definitely hear it. The mists aren't choking your ears. However, that brings us right to you. It's your turn.
I cannot see, but what I remember, he was a bit in front of me, so I'm going to take a step forward towards him in the direction I was facing, and use Sword Burst on him.
Does the description of that require... No, that's an AoE spell, right?
That's an AoE spell, yeah.
Okay.
Which is why I'm stepping.
I got you. What kind of a save do you need?
Dexterity save.
It's my second natural 20 of the day on save.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. The original wet noodle assaulter this time does like his body just goes boneless, and he just like flops backwards, and all of the blades that burst out of you magically just like dance right over him. It's impressive. I mean, you got to give him that.
He's a dexterous blob.
Yeah.
Dexterous wet noodle.
Yeah. What would you like to do? I mean, you used your action, but.
Can I just take a step forward to the edge of the mist?
Sure.
I'll right on the outside of it, and I'm gonna be waiting and walking with the mist to see if he'll follow.
Okay.
Whatever. The thing, the wet noodle.
Nasty noodle boy. All right. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. So that creature's dead. Wrenn, it is your turn.
Okay, with my expeditious rate, can I dash twice and find my way up to the top where the guard is?
Let's see. Now, when you cast that, does that take a bonus action?
So it takes my movement dash and then bonus action dash.
Okay, and your movement, so it's 90 feet, I believe. I was...
Yeah, it says when you cast the spell...
Casting?
And then again, yeah, it's from there. It's 10 minutes long.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah, I think you can make it to the... So you can run inside, loop around the stairs, and you're up here, but you're on, like, the first landing looking up at the mechanism. So the mechanism's probably 10 feet away.
Okay.
And then Caden is on the other side, so he's probably a total of 15. Let's see if I can get you in the shot. I can't.
No, that's fine. I don't need to be in it. That's my turn for now.
Okay. You have a free action. You could shout something at him.
I will say, keep the gates open.
Okay. You can tell that he hears you.
Okay.
All right. And that will bring us down to that creature who comes bursting out of the mists. And he rushes past you, Bimbly, if you'd like to make an attack of opportunity.
Yep. 17 to hit?
Yep, that'll hit.
Yeah, do 7 slaps. 7.
All right. I believe you have Sentinel as well?
Yes.
Okay. So that means his movement becomes 0.
Yes, it does.
All right. As much as he would love to have gotten his grubby little noodles onto Seth, he instead has to turn to you and make his attacks. Rather, attack. Does a 6 hit?
No.
No,
it does not.
The wet slapping of another boneless
No.
limb slap across the back of your armor.
I'm tired of being noodled.
I'm already getting my mending spells ready for later.
Just
ectoplasmic rust. All right. So this brings us to Seth. It is your turn.
Do I see any sign of Sarah Haver anywhere?
No, I'm afraid not.
No.
You just see the billowing mists. No one other than these evil creatures have come out of it so far.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm going to back up to the entrance of the wall, and then as I'm walking, I'll just kind of turn around. I'll cast a firebolt at the last guy.
Make your attack roll, please. So is this like continuing your trend of super cool guy, like I walk slow backwards?
Yeah, super cool religious guy to the max.
Sure.
Damn it, now I have to redo all these overlay graphics to say super guy.
And that will be 7 fire damage.
7 fire damage. Okay. Yeah. So you see the firebolt fly across the battlefield and slam into the chest of this creature who has been sort of hamstrung by Bimbly, and he's sort of leaning back, just boneless arms flopping at his sides. And that will end your turn.
That's all I got.
All right. Another turn passes.
Mm-mm.
And everything becomes obscured again. Bimbly, you have succeeded on the mists, so you do not need to repeat the saving throw for 24 hours.
Okay.
A very fortunate thing. Keep that in mind, as well as you, Thokk. And that will bring us to Kevin. It is your turn again.
Has any other enemies up in that area now?
No new ones have appeared. The same one appeared, ran out. Bimbly cut him down from like the hamstring, so that his movement ceased.
Okay.
And then the mists covered him again.
Okay, I will move. Does it seem like we have a pretty good idea of how much the mist is moving each turn? Like, do the players know that? I will move
10 feet per 6
Okay, yeah, that's oddly, yeah. I will move back so that I'm just outside of that range.
Okay, 5 feet.
Yeah, to continue to kind of cover any retreat. Anything that comes out, I'll prepare an action to attack, but
Okay.
only if it leaves the mist.
All right, very good. Thokk, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna move to my left a little bit, kind of like in line with where Bimbly was. Yeah.
So that's 15.
Okay. And then let me go back 5. Then put me one more over too, actually. Yeah, right there. And then I'll just ready an attack in case this creature comes back out through the mist.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were just starting to troll me and you're going to have me move you 5 feet at a time.
A little left, a little right.
All right.
Just somehow squeeze out like 40 out of doing it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Bimbly, it is your turn. You are re-enveloped. No, we already did you. Did I skip Thokk then? I got you guys backwards.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I just swapped you. Wrenn, it's your turn.
Okay. Can I get up to where I can see everything?
Yeah, you can get up to the mechanism and stand beside Caden.
Okay. From where I'm at right now, can I see anything in the mists coming?
Make a perception check. The DC is going to be a little bit high on this because it is shrouded in mist.
14.
Okay. I will say that you do see the silhouettes of a couple different things, but they're moving differently. So you're not sure if they're hostiles, if they're people that are trapped. And then at the very far end, you see that the mists have gathered in sort of a circular pattern that's coming up like a thunderhead.
Oh, okay.
But it's very concentrated.
Okay. Let me see.
If only I had more dryer sheets.
A sea of dryer sheets.
I bet Gabe's laundry is gonna smell worse than his D&D room for like 2 weeks. He's just like, it's worth it for the game, all for the narrative.
Nice that you think my laundry room and the D&D room are two different places. It's all the same.
I wasn't gonna say it out loud, but now that you did, everyone knows. Oh, the sadness.
Okay, can I use thaumaturgy to make my voice super booming?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And then yell out to everyone, we don't have much time. Retreat. Let's close the gate.
Booming voice, Bryce. Go ahead. Boom it.
We don't have... Wait, are you...
No, I want
Are you
to
modifying my voice right now?
I don't know how to do that on your end.
I'm good.
Oh. I wanted to
Just say it really loudly.
Collective groaning.
I will. I'm going to get whatever you have so that I have that option.
Okay. All right. Well, it's fitting because you've yelled this out. Your party hears you, but silence sort of reigns on the battlefield for a moment. There's this horrible slashing and fiery destruction of these creatures. And as your voice carries out into the mists, everything becomes quiet. And there's suddenly a loud, high-pitched whine that enters all of your collective minds.
Are we gonna hear it?
I mean, kinda.
Okay.
Oh, I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that.
It's unsettling sounding.
I'll make sure I turn it up. There it is.
Okay. And then the high-pitched whine that fills your minds, disorienting you, goes quiet. And a rumbling voice echoes in your minds. And you can tell the directionality. It's coming directly from that thunderhead, that great column of mists. And it says,
"What do we have here? A traitor, a murderer, a liar, a failure, and a fool. This is what fate has assembled to stall the great churning tide of my bloody will. I await you, adventurers, in this shallow grave of your kind. Come, face me, or wait until I am strong enough to topple these walls."
all right, so
Okay then.
Yeah, back to business.
Bring it on, you grumpy boy.
back to the initiative roll. You didn't see what came of the voice. However, those of you that have looked down into the chasms below, namely Kevin, saw a piece of it.
Kevin, who is now a bear, can't really convey that to everybody.
Yes.
So instead, he'll say,
Kevin lets out a roar back into the mist. Unfortunately, the beast does not have any more words to reply with because I didn't script anymore. However, the creature will attempt to run away from you again, Bimbly.
Then I get another reaction attack on it.
You do, but with disadvantage because you're shrouded in mist.
Oh, fine.
I know. Such a stickler.
12 to hit.
You feel your blade cut deep into the hamstring of the creature yet again. Please roll damage as he stalls moving.
He takes 6 damage.
You guys are like bleeding this guy out.
straight shots to the hamstring over and over again.
One less limb.
Feels like my lifting career.
If I reach 5, he's dead, right?
Yeah, you know, at this point, he's got noodle arms and you've cut both of his hamstrings, so he may just give up.
I'm not dead yet.
I'm feeling better. Please let me enter into your vessel.
It's like the knight. I'm invincible.
Tis but a scratch.
What are you gonna do? Bleed on me?
Seth, it's your turn.
All right. I will get annoyed because it's not over yet, and I will say, "I grow tired of this. To oblivion and beyond." And I'll
No.
and I'll shoot another firebolt at it.
Okay.
So 11.
The firebolt whizzes into the mists, just narrowly over the creature's shoulder.
That makes that whole statement even better because of this.
To oblivion and beyond. And then the
Mostly
firebolt
just beyond. Mostly just beyond.
I guess it was beyond.
That is my turn.
Okay. All right. So back to the top of the order. The mists grow another 10 feet closer.
Testing those mists.
Yeah. You guys weren't supposed to see this much of the mists. Oh, goodness. I can't even. Anyway.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Don't laugh.
It's very serious.
Gabe, There was a year or more we had no visualizations, so
Yeah.
we're good.
Okay, so the mists have come forward again. Bimbly, you're getting deeper and deeper in the mists. You're about 15 feet now. I would like a
fun.
perception check with disadvantage.
Okie
Bimbly. Okay. I
dokie.
have the.
Do perception. Well, that's a nat 1.
Okay.
Ooh.
Right. I will say you notice absolutely nothing other than this pitiful creature on the ground, prone,
Please let me kill it.
glaring at you.
Just let me kill it.
You're welcome to. As soon as it's your turn. Kevin, it's your turn.
Same procedure.
Same.
I'm just. Unless is there a gap there for, or is that just a technical
No, it's just
malfunction?
It's my faulty dryer sheet.
It's like, hey, I see Kevin sees a gap in Bimbly. He's gonna go get him, but no, I guess not. Fine, cover him up.
Oh, there I go.
I will
Bye-bye.
continue to
Bye-bye.
continue to prepare actions for anything that comes out of the mist that isn't a Bimbles.
Okay, Thokk.
Since I had line of sight on this creature before, can I just kind of like walk forward at it?
Yeah. If you walk forward 5 feet, you can take a swing with disadvantage.
Okay, I will do so.
You'll end our suffering.
Trying to. 17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And 12 piercing damage.
Okay. Right. He's not looking great, but to be fair, he wasn't looking great to begin with.
I'm hitting him again. Oh, 13 to hit.
All right. You do still manage to score a hit.
13 piercing damage.
Okay. Yeah, this time the pick just, like, I don't know, puncturing a hole in a rotten cantaloupe. And you just feel the creature finally stop squirming.
Is it dead? Oh, it's dead. Thank God.
Combat has ended. And with the end
You
of
gotta
combat...
warn me, Gabe. You gotta warn me. I didn't have.
Oh, shoot.
I forgot to switch it back. All right, we're good. We're
knew
good.
it.
I fixed it.
Sorry. We will take a 5-minute break now. Sorry, that ran a little bit later than I intended.
All right.
Well done for entering that battle with very low resources. Okay.
All right. See you guys in 5. I'm gonna mute you guys and myself from there. Just everybody, when you come back, give me a thumbs up. I'm gonna talk to the peeps and see how they're doing.
Okay.
People are saying they can't really hear the music. I don't know what to do about that because I hear it super loud. So, stream, this is Gabe, Bryce, Michael, Scott, and Ash.
Hello.
Hello.
And
Hello.
Yeah, this has been our adventuring party for the last. We've had some new additions. Ash is our newest member, but we've pretty much been playing together going on 3 years. And yeah, I'm excited you guys are getting to share some of that time with us.
I am the snacker, whoever said that.
Yes. Bryce always has snacks.
Usually,
Never shares.
I eat really quick during the breaks. Like I just went in and grabbed like 2 sticks.
I chose quiet snacks this time, so that I wouldn't have like crunchy bag sounds.
Yeah, normally Michael has to mute himself so the dogs don't go through. He's got some cute puppers and stuff.
All right, let me get these dogs out.
Yeah, I don't. Do I need to open Twitch?
You don't have to if you don't want to. If you want to see the chat, you can, but you don't need to do anything.
I was gonna say I can't really.
Angie
talk to
says,
anyone
"Dungeon Daddy, you're killing it."
Thanks, Angie. I did reply to her during the break. Blah, blah.
Mac wants to know if Ash can get a fake mustache next week to match the facial hair requirements.
Of mustaches and men could be the group name.
The hairiest lady ever. Yeah. So we're ready to go back whenever you guys are. I'll just repause everything, and so far it's felt good. I just need to figure out why Can you play the music for me, Gabe, right now? Just play something.
Yeah. I have it turned very far down on my end, because Roll20 gives me issues, but...
Yeah, I'm just curious. A few people are...
I mean, it's loud on my end.
No,
but...
on mine it's maxed out. Can you guys okay, stream? Can you guys hear this fine? Ba-da-bum, bum, 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 ba-da-bum. 1-1 in chat if you can hear it. 2-2 in chat if you can't hear it.
FK respects.
It's soft, but it's there. Yeah, I mean, we still have to be able to talk. Just got a lot louder? Yeah, because it's getting louder. Okay, people seem to be hearing it. Some people aren't hearing it. Okay. You guys might just have to adjust your volumes then, because I can't turn it up any louder on my end without blowing my own eardrums out. So, all right, I'm gonna hide the chat. We're gonna get back into the game. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for watching. We love you all. And once we end, we'll check things out. So, enjoy the show. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now.
All right. So combat has ended. I'm assuming you guys want to usher yourselves back into underneath the gate, all of you getting to safety?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Okay. All right. As you guys run inside, Caden begins to let go of the winch. And you notice this, Wrenn, as you're up there with him. And he, of course, waits for everyone to get to safety. He's not trying to crush your allies or anything sinister. And you hear the boulder just crash down as the mists wash up against the wall. That thunderhead of mist off in the distance, that column, it still lingers, it looms. But it does appear to have stopped growing in size. However, of course, the mists now just are washed all across the land. It's as far as the eye can see now. You guys are up on the wall looking out over the foothills. The sloping down mountain.
Bummer.
Did that voice calling out in our heads sound like Terrorburn to me?
No,
from what I remember? Okay.
A little bit more guttural.
Okay.
Monstrous, perhaps.
Gotcha.
Did it sound like Borosan at all?
It had a similar...
I mean, it did, but was it supposed to?
No, that's just the deepest I can get. So,
okay.
It sounded similar to Borosan, but not identical.
Okay.
All right. So Caden is standing right next to the winch. He's looking out over the mists. He turns to you, Seth, and he approaches you. He's getting up in your grill.
Okay.
He's well armored. He's dressed like a veteran or a sergeant would be. And he's got a sword at his hip. He hasn't grabbed it yet, but he gets up in your face and he says, "You made me a promise."
Don't you worry. Me and the goddess Shar will keep that promise. Could you get out of my face?
I'll get out of your face, but if you don't return to me my sister, you're going to end up with her ex-husband.
Is there a deadline to this? Do you need her by a certain time? Should you have a curfew?
Depends how long you want to stay in my city, and not in a jail cellar.
What time of day is it?
Evening.
Evening?
It's getting chilly. It's like autumn.
I will have her back to you by nightfall, when the moon is highest in the sky, and darkness reigns over the city. If we're not all dead by then.
Make a deception check. You didn't give yourself much time there.
12.
Caden believes you wholeheartedly. I rolled very low again.
I also rolled low.
So his eyes, meet yours. His stern affront to you sort of softens, his shoulders slump. All right, by tonight.
When I bring her back, you can thank me and Goddess Shar, as she will guide me to her.
I'll consider maybe making a prayer to your god, but not until I see my sister.
just also as a side, my character does not blink at all, and he's bald.
Yeah, he's in your spell. Your charisma has swaddled him.
Okay.
He doesn't mind that you're just a total creep.
All right.
All right. So you guys are finally within the city. Is there any interacting with each other you'd like to do before I go on to describe the scene?
Yeah, can I go over and just check, like, I mean, I'm very short, I'm like 3 feet tall, but like kind of looking in everyone's eyes that was in the mist and making sure there's still my friends and not mist zombies?
Yeah, make a medicine check for me.
That is 15.
Okay. Yeah, so you take your time, and you're able to, get each of them to comply and lean forward, maybe except for Bimbly, who is concerned with his armor and the strange goopiness on it. But yeah, one by one, you look over everyone, and even the people without periaps, despite their closeness with ectoplasm, like Kevin, I don't think he had a periapt, and he had the thing wrapped around his face.
Kevin's still a bear, by the way, so he just kind of nuzzles you as you inspect his eyes. Just...
I love it.
Guys, this is supposed to be dark and thrilling. All right. The adorable Kevin as a bear nuzzles Wrenn, and his eyes appear to be clear of any viscous fluid.
Okay.
Along with everyone else.
Cool. Who would know who made it through the gate before something happened?
Caden would have the best bet. It looked like he was standing atop the gate as people were coming in.
Okay. Is there a moment I can talk to him right now?
Yeah, he's standing over mesmerized by Seth.
Yeah. Caden, I hope to distract you for a sec from all this. I know there was just a big hurry and a rush, and who knows what we all just saw, but do you remember who came through the gate?
A lot of folk came through the gate. Anyone specific you're looking for?
Well, I want to know if those fellas from the Fourth Adventureman came through the gate.
Yeah, they were chasing a wild horse. It was wearing boots. It really clogged up the gate for a bit.
That's good to hear. And what about a little boy named Tef? Do you remember seeing him?
Yep. A few children came through too early.
Okay. I didn't know. And I'll look to the rest of the party and say, is there anyone you guys are wondering about?
Sarah Haversham.
His sister that you just agreed to return to him?
Well, yeah. But...
Do you really say that?
No.
Okay.
Out loud again.
Just twist the blade. Okay. Did you? Go ahead, Bimbly.
I'm gonna turn to Wrenn and ask him, where did your friend go? What was his name?
Brock. I don't know. Did Brock come through here, Caden?
I don't know who that is.
He's a short, gnome-looking fellow, looks like me, but with scraggly brown hair.
Maybe he came in with some of the children. There aren't many gnomes.
He might have been limping or looking kind of weak.
Not to my recollection, but there's a good chance he did make it in.
Okay. I think I need to find some kind of school of magic, like a association of wizards or someone that might know more about this mist. Like if I was back home, I would just go to the academy and ask some questions, but here I don't really have my bearings. But guys, we need more information.
Yes.
So, I mean, Seth, you know the city at least better than we do. Do you know of anywhere we can go to either get some shelter and maybe find some more information of a magical nature?
I do not know this city at all.
Sorry, I meant Caden.
Yeah, you could probably head south along the bend and find your way to a Inventors Guild of sorts. But sometimes during emergency, they go into lockdown.
I remember hearing about the Inventors Guild 1 or 2 sessions ago. Well, that's good information.
Yeah, I believe it's run by one Reginald. Oh, what's his name? Fluffinright.
Reginald Fluffinright. Okay.
If that's closed, you could head north to the market district and find a place to bed down till this blows over.
The end of the world will never blow over.
Yeah, I don't know if
Over
this is
the
gonna
walls.
blow over.
I was kind of hoping it would.
No, in fact, a voice reached out to at least me.
I heard it too.
And me.
Caden backs away from the lot of you towards the edge of the wall. And what did this voice say?
It called out to challenge us, for us to face it, or it would destroy the city when it becomes powerful enough.
Well, I could open the gate back up. If you think it's not going to blow over, you might as well just get to it.
But on a serious note, how much time do we have? Is it minutes, hours, or days?
I'm not sure at all.
I'm hoping we could at least get a good night's sleep. Then I will be at full demigod status and I will smite this beast back to the end of days.
Seth, if I'm not mistaken, you've got some work to do before midnight.
I do. Don't worry. I've got my ways. Have faith in Shar and her disciple. Me.
All right, so what would the party like to do?
Roll my eyes aggressively.
Stuff full 360.
Acrobatics check.
You said it was night, right?
It's late evening.
Okay.
Going on night.
Okay. Maybe we should find a place to turn in. I don't think any wizard schools or shops or anything like that will be open at this time anyways.
Not with the Calamity.
Okay.
Caden, where could I find you when I find your sister?
Oh, you can find me to the south in the CWJR in Military Row.
Very well. I will see you in a few hours.
All right. I'll be in the breezeway.
All right.
That'll make sense when you get there.
Okay.
All right. So, what would the party like to do? Head for rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we leave, can I just study Cadence and see if he's acting weird or anything or doing anything?
Make an insight check.
We never ask for these. We
I know, you
always
really
forget
don't.
to do this.
It's pretty nice.
8.
Man, I wanted you to succeed. He is. I'm gonna give him a check because I roll like crap. Bimbly, he is so mesmerized with Scott's power and the fact that he's going to restore his sister to life that he's just whatever sinister desires he may hold towards Bimbly in particular, you're just not picking up on.
Fine. I'm just gonna be the last one out, trailing and looking at him suspiciously.
Oh, he's done something. Anyway, so what would the party like to do?
Did you say it was west toward the town and some kind of shelter? Inn or something like that?
Yeah, so you're on the westernmost, it's a big circle that surrounds the mountain, and you're on the westernmost point. So you could head north or south.
Okay.
So you see Sergeant Caden head south. He descends the ramparts and begins walking down the cobblestone streets that direction. He had recommended that you head north.
Okay. Well, let's go that way.
Okay. So, the Campford foothills, the lowest tier of Agrevorn, was quiet despite the sounds from outside the wall behind the party. The gray cobblestones are uneven and unswept. The uneven slabs of sidewalks sport the occasionally swiftly walking and quiet citizen doing his or her best to avoid paying mind to whatever is happening outside of the city. The buildings alongside the edges of the walls and interior mountainside loom above you ominously, their steep pitched roofs looking down on everyone below as though sneering. Most appear derelict and empty, once grand and ornate, tired now and sagging with neglect. The street slopes ever a little bit to the right as you head north, in that circular fashion that makes you feel like you're on an eternal revolution of more quiet. As you guys are just walking at this slowly turning, lilting position, you've passed by all of these empty houses. And I believe in the beginning when you had arrived at Campus Town, someone had told you that there wasn't enough room for the refugees in the city. And that has become just abundantly clear that that was a lie. All of these homes in this row are just abandoned on either side of the street, on the wall or the mountain. And as you continue upward, there are the occasional passerby, but not many. And you sort of come to the end of that row, and then it breaks inward, and there's like an interior block, and there's a large sign that's right in the center of the street, and it says Market District, or I'm sorry, Mercantile Row. And sitting beneath the sign, there is a woman that is dressed in rags. She has like sort of ratty silver gray hair, and her eyes are just stricken wide, and she's locked onto the party, but she's making no move to interact with you. She's just a point of interest.
Do we all like notice looking at us this weird way?
Yeah, she's just daggers right into you.
I'll approach her.
Okay.
Is she sitting, standing?
I'm gonna say she's right in between. It's like an awkward slouching crouch.
Like a nice Slav squat there. So I'll approach her, kind of like stoop down a little bit and be like, I can't help but notice that you are glaring at us. Is something the matter?
Yes, my sweet. Something is the matter.
I'm listening.
It's him.
And she points past you over to Kevin.
Did you not notice you travel with a bear?
Oh, that bear is actually a gnome. Shapeshift.
Oh, well, that makes everything just completely fine. May I pet it?
I mean, sure, but keep in mind it is just a humanoid man.
She approaches slowly.
Can I make an insight check on this BZ coming up trying to pet up on me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me see. Where are my bear stats?
My bear intelligence.
Puts me back.
It's gonna be your wisdom as a caster.
Oh, that's a pretty decent wisdom right there. I'll check it out.
You only bring over your physical traits when you shapeshift.
I was saying I'm Kevin and Bear Burp.
Yep.
Good berry burp. I got you.
I rolled a 19 plus 2, so 21.
Okay. All right. Can I drag you over to the other chat?
Yeah.
You guys don't move on Zoom at all.
I know you can, but everyone, you guys won't be able to hear. The stream will be able to hear.
Well, that's fine.
Is that okay?
All right. Yeah, the stream can hear what I say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, pull me on over, Dungeon Daddy. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. All right. So she's approached you. She's reaching out a hand. You can see like there's dirt under her fingernails. She's just trying to like doot the snoot, touch your snout.
Not the boobs.
Yeah, she just wants to pet you. She seems completely legitimately fine in that regard. No evil intent. However, we're gonna let the party squirm a little bit. Just let it marinate. But yeah, she seems fine. However, you do notice one peculiar detail. There's an air of familiarity that I think you notice because you're a bear. But it's sort of fleeting and it fades away. You've never seen this woman before in your life.
But I am sensing some sort of bearish nature?
No, not like familiarity to you, but a familiarity to something in your past.
Okay.
Which for Kevin is hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So it's just like a scratching at the back of your mind.
Got it.
But no ill intent.
All right.
So I never had an appeal.
Yeah, I was never really like the same way. I'll do it on YouTube sometimes.
All right.
About it.
So
Okay.
Welcome back.
We're back.
secrets and mysteries, my friends. Secrets and mysteries.
Kevin,
Okay, question is,
Go ahead.
does Kevin let her pet him?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do.
Kevin
okay.
kind of moves his head down like this, like to receive the pets.
Okay. Well, she gives you a scritch, on the ridge of your snout. And then she sort of does like a little happy dance. Like she's still half crouched over, she's hunched over. Exactly. Yeah. She cackles like a crone. I was a little worried that might be too sinister, but yeah.
Cackles like a crone.
Yeah. And she just sort of turns to regard the party and says, well, now that that's cleared up, would you like a guide?
Yes, I don't believe any of us have been in the city quite some time.
Is that so?
Can I?
What is she hunting for?
I'm super suspect.
Okay. I'm super curious right now.
We get into this town and someone's like, hey, do you need a guide? And there's abandoned houses everywhere and just spotting us with eyeballs.
Kevin is not suspect at all. He's like, this lady scratched my nose. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
But is that unique to Kevin, right? I'm like, how does that help you guys very much?
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Can I just look at her person and see if she has like is she just wearing tattered robes, or does she have like sword, or does she have a belt with
just like tattered, ragged clothing, like ripped up clothes tied on. She looks like a walking, almost like a corn husk doll. Like there's like random ass like tufts of cloth sticking out at different places. You can see like some skin showing through.
Okay. Can I just do like an Arcana check to see if there's any magical vibes coming off?
Sure, but detect magic would be more reliable.
For sure. I don't have that.
Okay.
So,
hey, did you know if you had this skill or ability, you'd be able to use it, but you can't.
21.
Okay. Yeah. There doesn't appear to be any magical items on her. At your cursory glance, you're just like boring a hole through her right now. You're just staring at her, and she looks over at you a little nervously, and you do catch a peculiar glint to the eyes. I believe in some like fantasy it would be called like a seeming or something of that nature, something that's a peculiar glint, or like a way light refracts over her eyes. Just
okay.
Gives you a hint that there's something going on. But like maybe she's magically enhanced with something like she's like there's a physical effect that's occurring because of that. But I mean, it's just an Arcana check at sight, so I can't give you that.
Kind of like
all right.
Vin Diesel from Pitch Black, where it's like a shining on the eyes.
Yeah.
Chronicles of Riddick.
All right.
Underrated movie. Just putting it out there.
Oh, Pitch Black was phenomenal, yeah.
All right.
I'm just going to scoot a little closer to Bimbly then. And I'm going along with it.
Bimbly like puts an arm around him, just it's okay.
All right.
Yes, excuse the rudeness of my friends, but may I ask your name? And I kind of hold her hand and kiss it.
Make a
kiss check.
I feel like there should be a check for this.
Make a creepiness check. Can I get a vibe check?
Sexual harassment
check.
Can I just go up and kiss her, please? Is that fine? Is that okay?
Not only, Seth, does she allow you to kiss her hand, but she applies pressure to the back of her hand to your face to make the hand linger on your lips. You can feel the dirt, grime, and sweat of the day just like coating your lips.
He's into that, though. It's okay.
But
Can I make a vibe check on this?
Can we vibe check?
Vibe
any
that
rate.
Seth's a dirty boy is what the vibe is.
This
right
is
now.
not gonna pass the vibe check,
Oh,
dude.
no.
Seth's standards are pretty low, apparently. And as you're kissing her the back of her hand, she says,
My name's Fina the Wench.
Fina.
Self-identifies as the wench, though.
That's
How do you
she's in my
spell
notes.
that?
F-E-E-N-A. Sorry, I stuttered that a little bit.
F-E-N-A.
F-E-E-N-A.
Fina the Wench.
Yes.
A lovely name for a lovely woman.
Oh, you flatter me. For that, you'll get my reduced rate. For a guide. You perv.
14 hand kisses is all I require.
I'm Fina the Wench, not Fina the Slut.
Sorry, I was just taken by your natural beauty. Fina.
Most men aren't. You must have particular tastes.
Do you see these eyes? Unblinking. Black as the abyss.
You can behold my beauty forever. All right, I'll take you where you want to go for 5 copper pieces.
I'll give her a gold piece.
This is with my discount. You truly are a glutton for my charm.
I am
Okay.
a son of Shar.
I don't know what that means, but I'm still gonna give you the best treatment.
I can tell you later tonight. And I'll try to wink, but I can't because I don't blink.
I tell you what, I'll take you where you want to go, and we'll see how things progress from there.
I can live with that.
So where do you want to go?
An inn or a tavern where we can stay the night best.
Well, that's convenient. All right.
I must ask, do you know who Sarah Haversham is?
No, should I?
No, sorry, I'm on a bit of a time crunch. I'm trying to find this woman.
Why do you need to find her?
She is the daughter of Caden. Seems to be the lieutenant of this area and hates me.
Not right.
Sister.
Sister? What'd I say, daughter?
You're gonna lie all the time. You gotta keep him straight.
Make a deception check. Accidental. I'm kidding.
Well, that sounds like quite the pickle. Can you fake it?
I've been faking until I make it my entire life.
That's such a vague response. Anyway, let's walk and talk.
She leads you guys through the market district, and there's a series of, again, a lot of abandoned shops, but there are some that are not. And you do see their signs sort of squeaking, in the still sad autumn wind of this abysmal city. And she finally comes to a halt in front of a rickety duplex. The tall duplex sits amid a block of quiet and disdainful shops, or perhaps unmarked buildings, simply with lights on inside. Several buildings have signs with those rusted hinges that are squealing in the wind, but the one that has your attention, this duplex, is called Gottfried's God-Tier Goods. Its neighbor in the same building is called the Generous Skillet. So this is where the woman has led you, Fina the Wench, charming as she can be, and she has made the gold piece disappear somewhere in her rags, and she stops here and she holds a hand out and says,
This would be a place to rest. Gottfried is a good man. And so is Jakob.
Who's Jakob?
Well, between you and me,
he's the owner of the generous skillet, but he likes to play it up for the mask acolytes.
I want to know more, but I don't want to ask because I'm still
the one
not comfortable with her. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just not like Wrenn wouldn't ask.
Okay. I'm sure you can find more suitable NPCs. Well,
Thank you for leading us to shelter,
you're welcome. I will be right here waiting for you when you need me for your next leg of the journey.
That would be great.
Actually, would you be able to show me where Breezeway is and the CJW?
The CWJR?
Yes.
It's a joint regiment, yes. You can just refer to it as Military Row.
Okay.
It's a good walk away, though, to the south. You won't be back here for about an hour.
I can wait a little bit, I think.
All right. It is pretty much nightfall, just as a heads up.
Okay.
How far did we travel from the edge of the city to where we are now?
So you're nearing the farthest north point. You're sort of in the curvature of the northwestern quadrant.
Okay.
Of the circular city. I should have just done squares, man.
So what I'm saying is, how long did it take us to get to?
About 20 minutes.
Okay. Now that I know where we are, Bimbly and Thokk and Kevin too, do you guys want to go back to the wall and just check to see if anything's changed? Like, I'm worried that we're going to wake up and that mist will have swallowed this city whole.
Yes, we could find our way back here. Why don't we go check really quick? Yes, Kevin, I know.
All right, so you guys want to head? Oh, yeah. Just a thumbs up from Bimbly. All right. Seth?
A thumb on her three-fingered hand.
Yes, one thumb on his two-fingered hand.
Okay. Seth, what are you doing?
So everyone's planning on heading out, right?
We're not resting, is what I'm getting from this, right?
It seems that way. Yes.
Just another hour or so, and then coming back.
Okay. Well, why don't we see where the Breezeway is, just so we know where to find Caden, just in case. Wouldn't be a bad idea to know where the in case we're sieged by the mist.
How does the party feel about that?
Well, you've certainly overpaid Fina. I know she'd be happy to take you there as well. But we can go too.
The more the merrier.
I don't mind going by myself. I have a debt to pay to Caden, unfortunately.
Seth, I don't understand how you're going to materialize a dead sister, a potentially dead sister, in 3 hours.
Just you wait and see. Everything will be just fine.
I'm just envisioning Seth putting makeup on his face like a sister.
Just think of the classic. Fine.
Go ahead.
You can go, Dash.
Bimbly kind of looks over and says, "Perhaps we can find others in the mist. If they're not dead."
Wouldn't be a bad idea, I don't think. Back into the mists of oblivion.
It might be a very bad idea.
Well, from what I gather, if we heard the same thing, he'd gathering strength. So why not hit him when he's weak? Maybe it's Sarah.
Judging on the sound of that voice we all heard alone, I don't think we're ready to take this thing on.
And judging on the sound of the squelching pits, we still need paradapts.
Mm-hmm.
At least you guys do.
Yeah.
Perhaps we could see if the shop here has any.
They were pricey from what we heard before and very scarce, but there is a possibility we can find some.
Perhaps we can curry favor.
Well, Seth, if you're passing by the wall, you can check to see if anything has changed. That was really my only curiosity.
I don't mind that. Plus, me and Grafina will have alone time.
Do you want alone time?
Of course I do. She's lovely. Do you not see?
I'm digging through my spells to see if I have anything to forget memories.
In the near future.
Gabe, there's the sickness here is different than like something like resisting a poison, right?
I mean, not necessarily. Like there would be a check. I won't say like you've been inflicted. Good luck. But something like this would be a high DC, and it'll have multiple stages of effect.
Mm.
So you'll have multiple. It'll be a little bit like that curse that Thokk had gotten.
Oh, that sucked.
I don't want to. I don't want to delve into it too much.
I was just making sure that something like a resist poison, like protection from poison spell, would not really benefit us all that much.
Yeah, I mean it might assist for sure, but it wouldn't be like, okay, I've got this. I'm good. You know, it'd be I'm better off, but I'm not. You know, I don't want to give you the impression that you can wade into it.
Yeah, so it's better to aim for a period apt as opposed to me and just like, I'll just go ahead and spell through it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
That would be the safest, probably the most arduous route for you guys to take. It's kind of like in a video game where you've got the short and fast sloppy route that you could take and maybe pull it off. Got the moderate route, and then you've got the long haul where I've got to clear everything and get safe, but who knows what the creature will have amassed by then.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's head into the shop. See what we can accomplish here.
It was Gottfried's god tier what?
Goods. Gottfried's god tier goods.
I miss Balthazar.
All right. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Balthazar's Bizarre will live on in our hearts. All right. The door swings open with a ringing tingle of a bell. You all find yourselves crammed into a little storeroom area. There's not a lot of room for you to maneuver yourselves around. There's a shanty counter in the back that's like propped up on barrels. There's rows and rows of shelves just all over the place. There's like cracked open barrels with goods spilling out. And there is a small door in the side of the wall that looks like it's built in between the adjoining duplexes. So it connects this with the generous skillet. And the door swings open and a man comes tumbling inward, and he's got this straw-colored hair that's sort of like a mess. It looks like he was trying to like wipe something into it to get it to stay out of his face. And he's got mascara that's just smudged out of his eyes. And he sort of comes to an immediate halt and he says, "Hello, travelers. It's such a pleasure to see you. Welcome to Godfried's God. Oh, why did I name it that? I'm Godfried. Welcome."
Hello. We're looking for some shelter, some place to stay the night.
Oh, well then you want to go over to the Generous Skillet next door. That's run by Jakob.
Okay. Well, here you sell some goods, and can I look around and see what's on the area, the shelves?
Yeah, so as soon as you position yourself to start looking, he begins to like look over your shoulder and try and like tell you what everything is. A lot of it you can tell is charlatan-esque, hokum, like not real. But you know, as you look at things, he says, "Oh yes, that's a medicinal poultice. You would apply that to your nether regions. You know, a popular item."
Would you mind showing me to the god tier section?
Oh, of course. It's back here in the god tier barrel.
The barrel?
I have limit. Okay. Yeah. So he pulls open a barrel and he hefts it over, and you hear like a dangerous clinking with every heft, like he's gonna break everything inside of it. And then he tilts it forward and he says, "You can look, but you can't touch. That's my rule."
I'll put my hands up like that.
Bimbly?
What? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How? Bimbly just looks in his.
What?
Bimbly is looking into. Sorry, he's over this.
Okay, Bimbly's bending over to look into the barrel. I got you. Wrenn, go ahead.
What do I see?
So you do see, in fact, several vials of varying liquids. You see some genuine amulets, necklaces, rings, etc. And there is one sword that's just like stuffed in the side and like the blade is sticking out the bottom end.
Seth, are you with us still?
Yeah, I'm like kind of in the shop, like perusing.
Kinda in the shop.
I'll turn back into a gnome because this guy's speaking my language.
Okay.
Confused but excited to be here.
Yeah.
What's that sword in there?
I believe it to be a magical sword, sir.
Oh. What kind of magic?
I don't know. I just know it's magical.
All right.
It was a wizard came and it was a flame 1 second and then the next it was not, and I was convinced immediately that I should purchase this blade.
Without researching anything about it, what the properties are?
Oh no, that's a finder's fee. You've got to do that yourself.
Say we're looking for some kind of protective amulets or necklaces that ward off evil, such things.
Oh, I've got plenty of those. And he reaches into the barrel and he just pulls out like a handful of necklaces and starts to like untangle them. Some of them are like bear claw, like the animal teeth or like little bones. Sorry, Kevin, not specifically bear, but animal.
Some looks
What did
Kevin
you
here.
say?
Captain Planet. Some of them are like crystals that are loosely affixed with settings. They don't look particularly great even without a check, just at a glance.
Yeah. All right. Thokk, what do you think about that sword?
I'm not sure. Without knowing the magics about it, it might be best to avoid it. There are tales of people receiving cursed weapons, wreak havoc.
We all trade some knowing glances.
Meta moment.
It's almost like in a past life I had known you all. Took a weapon I shouldn't have and nearly killed you all.
Became a demon final boss on accident. Yeah, who'd have thunk so?
Bimbly is gonna try to like put his hand forward and hover over the sword and look up to Godfried and say, "May I?"
Well, I suppose.
And you grab it and pull it out and just.
Okay. So you just like hefting it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm taking it out of the barrel. Can I look over it? Does it look interesting? Any features on it?
Certainly. Make an investigation check, rather.
Investigation. Oh, why am I rolling so? 9.
The fates are not with you. The sword looks rather plain.
Can I like show it to like Wrenn and be like, dude?
You may outsource the role.
I'll have a look. See. I'll have a look. Okay.
All right, but this is it.
But this is it.
What am I? Just investigation?
Yeah, investigation again.
You know, looks like a sword to me. It's, I don't know.
Let's ask Fina the wench if she has a discerning eye.
Can Kevin play too?
Kevin, I will let you make a different kind of check if you'd like.
Yeah.
Like a nature check?
Let Kevin make a nature check, and also he goes up to Godfrey and hands him 3 berries.
Godfrey's stunned. Doesn't know what to do. He looks at the berries. He looks back at you.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
Oh, why, hello, Kevin. Did you know that all good things come in 3s?
Sure. Can I touch the sword too?
You most certainly may.
Thank you. Kevin grabs the sword and makes his check.
All right. As you're making your nature check, you're hovering your hands over it. Yeah. You see Godfrey out of the corner of your eye just scarf the berries as quickly as possible.
All right.
He makes
Nature
exactly
check,
that
I get
noise.
a +4 to that, so that is a 19 on the nature check.
Okay.
Okay. So you can't tell them. I mean, so you're not looking at the blade as though you're looking for runes or looking for enchantments or anything. You're looking at the blade on a natural level. So you would be looking at the kinds of metals it's made of. You'd be looking at like what kind of leather the handle was strapped with. And you note that despite the fact that it's covered in dust and it's been sitting in the bottom of a barrel for a long time, there is a degree of fine metals that were used in the craftsmanship of this. You can't speak to the actual putting together of the sword. You don't know much about swords, but
No pudding, got it. There's some fine
Something-
metals
yeah.
in here. It's real. It's got bright ones and less bright ones, and some that I think that's some carbon in there. That's pretty neat.
Right you are.
Did I help?
Yes, you definitely helped.
Yay.
What else is in this barrel? As I'm kind of peeking around.
so you do indeed, to speed up the process a little bit, you find a few potions that look to be genuine. I'm not going to make you like investigate every single item in this shop. There are 2 just standard health potions that you could purchase for 50 gold pieces. Actually, well, yeah, 50 gold is the price that he sets. If you want to try and haggle with him, you're welcome to. He does like the party as a whole. There is a potion of poison cleansing. And that's all there is as far as potions or potions go. The necklaces, I have to say, they don't look to be of great quality.
I knew it.
So much for the god tier barrel.
Yeah. Can we just straight up ask him if he has periaps?
Oh, well, no, I don't have any of those, but if you wanted to find some, I would suggest perhaps visiting the Temple of Mask.
Where would that be?
It's all the way out the other side of town.
Oh, fun.
Just kidding. It's on the eastern side.
But what side are we on?
The
West.
northwestern.
Okay.
I'll write it down.
So I'm gonna make a circle and start filling in the cardinal directions.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe just a little. We just literally fought. Well, I don't know what we fought. Multi-armed abominations.
They sounded like wet noodles when they hit me.
Oozy boys.
And maybe some oozy ladies too.
They are spawns of the end of the world. It's coming.
All right. With kind of the reminder of that, I really want to go check on the wall again and just see what things are looking like out there.
Okay.
Anyone want to come?
Yeah.
I'll go.
I will go as well, but I'll probably split off to the breezeway and deliver the bad news that I did not have time to find the sister and not daughter.
You do realize he's going to jail you, right?
I'll find a way out. Don't worry. Char's with me. I am unending and ever living.
You heard the man. All right.
Thanks
so
for
the
letting
party
us
has...
see your sword, Godfrey. Goodbye.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Sorry that your
you
stuff
gonna
isn't
be-
so good.
Yeah,
well, you know.
we'll be back. We'll stay at the Generous Skillet a little later.
Oh, okay. Jakob will be ready to see you.
And you see him race back through the other door. Over to the Generous Skillet.
Off we go.
All right.
All right, so the party exits. It doesn't take long. Like, once you walk over to the wall, you can just walk for a short distance before there's stairs that lead up to the ramparts. They'd be like equidistant along the outside of the wall. And as you come to the top, that thunderhead has faded. That's the first thing you notice as you all sort of line up at the edge of the exterior wall, overlooking what has become basically a wasteland of mist and destroyed like shantytown structures and oozified humanoids. Looking down, however, if you recall, Kevin, you notice it first, sort of looming over the top end of the mist as it becomes surging forward. And you're reminded instantly of that looming bulbous mass pulling pieces of itself in and about its frame as it was forming earlier. Those loosely formed sockets revealing human-like parts coming to life. The forming of pupils, assembly of tentacled arms draping down lifelessly. That figure breaks the mist again, and it begins to hover upward, drawing more muck from the liquefied corpses of the fallen below it. A great high-pitched whine once again fills your ears. However, the creature is far off in the distance, and it just sort of lifts itself up out of the mists for a moment. And you see just a part of it.
I'm seeing this, or the party is seeing this?
The whole party is. You just recognized it first.
Okay.
As
Soon as I saw it, I kind of tugged on Thokk's, like, on his hip, like, the big bulby guy with the oozy butts.
Yeah, you all see it. And are you ready for a screen share back to the combat screen?
Do you have a particular person in mind, or does it matter?
Me for the combat.
Yeah, combat ready.
Yeah.
You can put anyone's stats up. It's fine.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We don't need stats. I don't even know if I angled this right, but.
Ben, next time I'll get. Whoa!
The party is overlooking as this mass of just muck and blood and gore comes just breaking out of the ooze. And that, I'm stopping the share, is where we will end tonight's session.
We did it! We made it through at 7 exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty neat. We did it, guys.
Right.
Good job.
Yeah, we did.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk to the peeps? You can
Sure.
if you don't feel obligated to if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But
Hello, peeps.
hello, peeps.
Yo, what up?
I wonder how many.
Peeps.
Hi, friends. So you guys are welcome to pull up the stream if you want to see the chat of the peeps that are here. Holy banana sandwiches. Okay, well there's a few more than I thought.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Ooh,
I can hear you twice.
Decent chunk of
you gotta mute
Yeah, mute me, silly biscuit, or mute
I'm working.
mute
Mute.
Twitch.
Twitch.
Hope you
you'll
guys
still
had
get
fun
a
with that. Did we go ahead and pull it out of sub only chat? For now.
Thank you, Angie.
Did that work? There we go. I got it. Oh man, So yeah, that was D&D. That's what we do. That was our little thank you, Gabe, for the lurker love in the stream you're participating in. Yeah, we've been doing this for a couple years now, and we just, as a group, decided it'd be fun to sort of try it out. We've had a lot of people on the stream ask to sit in on these sessions, and so now you all can sit in on these sessions, at least for the time being. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had. You guys, if you guys have any questions you want for the cast until they have to go, but usually we end and then everyone goes off their separate ways. So you guys feel free to, if you need to end, you can end whatever.
I'm just gonna cancel work.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna stick around for a little while and hang out on stream, answer questions and stuff. But if they have anything they'd want, again, Bryce made all the overlays. Gabe made this whole narrative. We made our characters. And can you ask a character? Yeah, go ahead, Leon. What's your question? Definitely didn't look like a first-time stream. Hey, that's what we wanted. We were really
that's something.
There's some extra work that went into this to make sure, and we're kind of hoping that everything doesn't get messed up next time. Each particular. I want to see if I can share the screen we're all on right now. This is what we're seeing. So this is us, and then I've gone through and we made all the individual edits to put us in there with Bryce's really, really excellently made overlays. Is this the first time you've ever made overlays for something like this, Bryce?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came up with this in a week, by the way. So that's pretty neat.
I looked around at a ton of the available streams and asked a lot of questions we needed, and here we are.
Yeah. How did a Warforged wind up in the party, narrative-wise?
Well, early on, pre-campaign, we kind of all just wandered into a town initially, and we were all super suspicious of each other, but wound up together because of the stargazed zombies, basically. So Bimbly was just walking around.
I will add. Sorry, go ahead, Bryce.
I was just saying, like, we never really described our characters. We might want to do that.
I was about to say that.
We could honestly do it right now to kind of talk about what each person is.
Yeah.
Because we have a fair amount of people here who might be back next time. So. Bimbly, do you want to go first, since you're probably the hardest to understand?
Yeah, sure. So Bimbly is a Warforged. He's basically just a metal, mechanical kind of suit of armor looking person. And he's got a sword, he walks around, and he's pretty cool.
Do we still have that picture in the Discord that you...
I have the picture somewhere. I'm looking for it. I'll find it here in a second. But you guys go ahead.
Michael, do you want to describe Thokk?
Sure. Thokk is a half-orc on the larger side. He stands at 6'10", 350 pounds. He is gray-skinned with a round face. He chooses to be bald. Can grow out hair, but prefers looking a little more intimidating. He has a bloody sword on his right arm. I'm reading off my character description in case there's like, where are you staring? He has a bloody sword tattooed on his outer right arm and a splintered shield on his left. Currently, he's using a war pick and...
Cool. Scott, do you want to talk about Seth the dishonest?
Seth the undying. Yeah, so I am a ex-cult member. Normally, I'm pretty much fully like bald, except for probably some eyebrows, but I probably got a little stubble going on since it's been a couple weeks at least. I'm in tattered robes, black and gray. I do have a pendant that I got from a couple weeks ago that I snagged off my mom. It's like a half, well, it's crescent moon, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's the most charismatic, uncharismatic character I've ever played. And Great. My main goal is to recruit everyone to praise Goddess Shar. It was still a mystery to everyone.
Is it
Good
actually
times.
Shar this time? Because
I've changed it like 3 or 4 times already. It is officially Shar for
Did
real.
you see?
Okay.
Did you see Ash's face when you changed it the last time? She had herself muted, but I saw her hands go up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of like metal, specifically black metal. So my main goal was to like make the most black metal, dark D&D character to ever exist.
Nice.
Which, by the way, he's a shadow sorcerer, so he's the darkest, the blackest of black.
Cool.
I'm an emo kid.
B, you want to give us yours?
Yeah, so I'm a rock gnome who is like a little 3 foot tall gnome that came from the gloaming underground. And down there's like my mom was part of this organization that just catalogs and aims to understand magic, and I picked up on some of that. Started off as a cleric, but then went into studying wizardry, but more from like an academic level, hence the lore wizard. So pick up some abilities as we go along, kind of like manipulating magic in some fundamental ways, but more just interested in the casting rather than the results of magic. But little short gnome with some armor and kind of lots of little things dangling. I have an herb pouch, love cooking and studying nature. So that's Wrenn.
Cool. Sorry about the sound. I think Jess is inflating our air mattress for her sister. So Kevin is a forest gnome, not a rock gnome like Wrenn is. Few hundred years old. He's a little bit spacey when it comes to the specifics of his history. He was wandering around the forest for years. He's just a short gnome he's pretty well built. He's kind of just survived in the woods. Eventually, Thokk came and recruited him to hunt down some beasts. Kevin was pretty familiar with that, and so that Thokk is kind of Kevin's link to the party, which is if you are seeing that Kevin usually will be attached to Wrenn because he's a gnome, will be beholden to Thokk because he's like kind of his, the reason he's here, and super distrusting of Seth because Kevin caught Seth in a lie, and normally he trusts everybody, but if he catches you lying, he just he cannot square that away as to why someone would ever lie to someone else. It just seems so unnatural to him, and so that's where that whole thing is going. Only once. Well, after the first time, he stopped believing him, and so basically started catching him in every single lie after that by just not trusting him. But yeah, Kevin's main, I guess, way to combat is to shift into different animals that he's met over the hundreds of years that he lived outside of civilization. He's still learning about like socialization and culture. Literally think kind of like sort of like a Mowgli kind of from the Jungle Book, where he was just raised around animals and by animals and has no real connections, but also loves everybody until they give him a reason not to. Very, 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 very trustworthy. Yeah. So
I can probably share this image of Ash's sketch, right?
if you pull something up on your screen, I can blow you up real big.
Okay.
You ready?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I think it's worth noting too that Ben, our characters have seen Seth out before, so we know he's a weirdo.
Hold up. Let me move your stuff here. So there's a picture, a drawing of Bimbly.
That does look like Ultron. Kinda.
Does it?
Oh yeah.
I have that other one. Angie, yeah, maybe we can do that.
Okay.
If we made a clip with each character kind of giving their introduction so that people can look into that if they want to in future episodes. So, yeah, but I mean, the plan right now for all of us is to keep this up on a consistent schedule for the next few Sundays at least. And we'll get a little bit better. We have a few... I mean, they will continue doing everything. I will get better at managing the stream aspect of it. So just bear with me if I'm slow on transitions and stuff. I'm trying to keep up.